deceiving me in these comments. Y'all be deceiving me in these comments, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. We about to go back on Tinder. This shit.
All right.
My guy, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Here's the thing, man. Filipinos think they are goody two shoes type chicks, man. So don't go on these dating sites. Go on to Facebook. Filipinos are all over motherfucking Facebook. Or TikTok. All you have to do is get on a Facebook page and start looking in a certain area, and you're gonna find them. But I would say stay in Makati, BGC area if you want somebody that has something going on about themselves.
Yeah, I think I'm done dealing with the hoes in some of these countries. I think Thailand wore me out.
That, you can find some girls that either come from good families because it's a wealthy area. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they're just studying and going to school, or they are a call center girl, meaning they work in the call centers.
You
get what I mean? There's a lot of call centers here, bro, so they're making money.
Okay, so it's not like Thailand, Colombia vibe. It's not like every girl walking around is a freelancer, basically.
Correct. Now they will work your pockets. They are used to American men, foreign men especially. They will work your pockets. So you definitely need to be wise on some of the things they might key in on. But like I said, if you find a girl that's got a job, she's either already in like a call center, or and those are the areas you're talking about: Makati, Cebu area, Pasig, Quezon. Those are the areas where if they're in those areas, they're either working a call center, they're going to a university. You get what I mean? Soho.
Where are you at right now? Are you like off grid, or are you in the city?
Yeah, I'm in the province about 50 miles up north in Isabela. Yeah, my house where I'm at is about 5 minutes from the airport.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, I ain't got no problems. If I need to fly into Manila, I'm there in 50 minutes.
So 50 minutes. Do you have any just general advice for me while I'm here in the Philippines? Like in terms of safety?
I said, they understand American mentality. They all want to be married to a foreigner. So they know what the gist is as far as you having that blue passport. They've been dealing with foreigners, especially military guys, since the 30s. So they're well trained. Let's put it that way. They know what it's about. Okay.
And what is it about though? Is this, hey, I need a sponsor, or is it like, no, I'm really looking for something?
It depends. Now, a lot of them are very traditional. You might even run into a couple versions, bro, depending on where you're looking. These girls are very Catholic, or they're very outside party girl types. There's serious extremes. Okay?
So I'm just telling all of them that they're gonna be my future wife.
For a party girl vibe, or are you looking for somebody serious?
See, my thing was saying that I want something serious. The problem with that is this. Some of these girls take that as, okay, so we're getting married in 10 days and I'm going to move in 3 days. No,
there's a pace to this. You don't ever let nobody, obviously, I know you're not. I'm just saying this.
She just responded while we on live. Hold on. We might have to game this up real quick.
What's up? Rocket Club, my brother. How you doing, man?
Someone says so they've been scamming since the 1930s.
Yeah. But I mean, how many military guys you know? We have Subic Bay. You have right there in Angeles City where there was Clark Air Force Base. Brother, the military's been here. This place has been pilfered. Are you kidding me? Of course they know about us.
I don't know shit about the Philippines, man. This was a very
old school
impulsive flight purchase.
and what I'm telling you is these girls are speaking English, so it's going to make it a lot easier for you to weed through the weeds and understand their mentality, their Catholic-based religion or their Muslim-based religion. I don't think you want to mess around the Muslims because there's some extremists down north and they're still doing the fucking whole, suicide bomber type of shit. So stay away from the northern side of fucking Philippines. Okay, stay up this way. Go Palawan. Go to Bohol. Go to Iloilo. Go to There's so many different little islands that you can go to and have a lot of fun. That's where the tourist spots are. You can run into a little snow bunny or something like that if that's what you're looking for. So the area you're in dictates the type of people you're going to run into. You're in a shithole area like Manila and you're not in BGC Makati, then that's all you're going to get is people that are just working girls. They're fast paced, and you can see there's extreme poverty. You're driving through it, just getting to your hotel and back. Depending on where you're going, you can drive through some extreme poverty areas to some nice affluent areas.
I'm in Makati right now.
Okay, that's a good area. That's a good area. They got some nice little clubs there. There's some nightlife there. There's a like a 50 style kind of like diner area there that a lot of people go to. It's like a a spot that people like to visit. But there's some good clubs there, some hotels, and but again, these girls are streetwise. If you go in the clubs, they're definitely streetwise. This is where the bar girl experience is. Not like it's just like Thailand. You can buy a bar, find a girl out. Okay, you can bar find her out.
I'm not trying to do that. I didn't even bar find girls in Thailand, so I'm definitely not doing that in the Philippines.
So you got freelancers, you got bar girls, and they know what their job is. Get you to buy as many drinks and all that shit, just like Thailand. Okay, so it's not too far off of Thailand, but the mentality is different because it's not more of a the religion part is different.
Someone says you're a bit delusional.
Who?
Aiden Smash.
Delusional in what way, though?
Not to snitch on you, bro. Sorry, I had to read the comment too.
No. Delusional in what way? He's got to say what the delusion part is.
I don't know.
I don't know what the highlighted comment is, so I can't tell you. You got to highlight it. Bit delusional.
It's highlighted, yeah. Abuelo is a bit delusional.
I don't know where Abuelo is. What is Abuelo?
Uncle? I think you mentioned it. Yo, bro, Tio is his uncle, bro.
Spanish? Okay. Yeah. If you're talking Tagalog, it's
Abuelo
a little bit different.
Is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It is fucking
and I don't mind being called Unc. That's cool. A lot of people address me that way. And like I said, the delusion is in what mindset. What are you here for is the biggest thing. Are you here to party? Are you here to settle down? And then if you're here to settle down, the city life is okay. That's a good way to kind of ease into it. Mm-hmm. Getting into the provinces when you're going to get into either you already met somebody and they're not, because here's how it works. I'm going to break this down to you. Okay. Filipinos are not stupid. Bar girls fly into the fucking Manila, Makati, and wherever else, Los Angeles City, or that's where the bars are. That's where the bar scene is. They'll go and work. They probably already have kids. A lot of these Filipinos, man, they've been having sex since they were 16.
Right.
A lot of them are not virginal. A lot of them did not follow the Catholic traditional ways. They went to find that dollar quickly. So if they're a lot streetwise and a little not naive, then you know who you're dealing with. You get what I mean?
Well, I think that's almost every chick that I meet overseas. Like in my personal opinion, they're smarter than most of the tourists, so they know what you're looking for.
See, here's a lot of the ignorance for people that don't travel on a regular basis, unlike yourself and me. Guys are on vacation, so they learn to relax. Oh, I'm on vacation. I don't have to be on guard. You're on guard at home. You need to be twice on guard when you travel.
Yeah. Because I don't see foreigners taking advantage of any of these women. These women are gaming you. Like they're making you think they're really into you. They really like you, especially if you're the dude that's overly you make it very obvious you're looking for love. A lot of them will play on that to get what they want from you. So naturally, as like a safeguard, I always end up being the fuck boy to all these girls. Like, okay, he's not going to give me anything I want. He wants things exactly the way he wants it. And then if I see a girl that's kind of like she's down and she's holding it down, then I might be more interested in courting her to kind of see where it's
Right. And
going.
this is where you get to take advantage, Mosa, because you've been around. You've been to Colombia. You've already been through half of these games. So this is where you put your foot down and say, this is my way or the highway. This is the place you need to do that in. Don't ease into it. You get what I'm saying? Because if you ease into it, trying to be nice guy role, this, that, and the other, they're already going to think you a sucker straight up.
Yeah. Wow, she's not even hiding the fact that she used Google VO on this picture. Man, I can't with these AI photos of these chicks, man. I'm seeing that a lot in Asia. I can't with this. Like, how you gonna AI a regular fucking like selfie photo?
See, here's the thing. Sometimes they'll AI it because they don't want you to see their real home. Some of these places where they live at, bro, are hovels to us. You get what I'm saying? They're basic houses with no like separation on the ceiling part from one room to another. You get what I'm saying? So it just depends on where they're coming from. Are they coming from like a province area, or are they coming from the city area? Do they have family that's either foreign overseas workers? The biggest income here, besides for call centers, are remit to. As far as income, remit to means you got a foreign overseas worker person in the family that's sending money back to their country.
I have an assistant out here that I wanted to meet up with. She's actually an hour away from like Manila. I hire her to help me do some of like my like.
I didn't say he was going to find one. I said it's possible. And yes, there are virgins here, but he ain't going to find one right there in the city playing around in the clubs. Not going to do that.
See,
and
I don't know. I don't
having sex at 16. So
I don't know how long I'm going to be in the Philippines for me to really say like, okay, you know, maybe I could find a, because I would hate to find a girl I'd really want to be with and then I gotta leave. You know what I mean? Like, what's the visa process like out here? Like, if I wanted to stay here for like 6 months or a year or something like that.
Say that again.
Like, what's the visa process like?
I mean, here's the thing: you can re-up every two months for about 9,000 pesos, or you can do it every month. It's up to you how you want to do it. Right now, I've been pacing every 2 months renewal. You know, I already got my ACRI card. Once you get your ACRI card, and you can actually do this online. You don't actually have to go into an immigration office. There's a website I'll kick to you later on the back end. I can just email it to you. I have your email. And that website allows you to just re-up right there. And that way you don't have to have your onward ticket. They don't ask for that. They just ask for how much time, when you go ahead and pay your fee, and then they'll either pause you for a day or two to say you're approved, or they give it to you right away.
Okay. So, have you been to Thailand? Like, have you been to like Pattaya and shit already?
Yeah, I did that when I was younger, though. I haven't been there recently, so it's changed a lot. A lot of things have changed since I've been out there.
Okay. So,
you know, the best thing I can say, you know, stay with the people that have been on the ground there. Like, I'm sure you ran into BMT. You talked to several people that have been there for a while, you know, while you were in Thailand. So all I can do is difference.
I need real comparisons because when I was in Thailand, so far, I would say Thailand is the most hospitable country I've been in so far. Like it has a quality that it like makes you want to stay there. And that was why I was in there 3 months. I really wasn't supposed to be in Thailand for longer than 30 days, but I was there for 3 months.
You get that here. Everybody's going to say, sir. And I'm sure you've already run into it. Everybody's going to be very approachable, very friendly. You know what I mean? They're always, sir is always going to come out of their mouth. You know, but again, is that a real sir, or is that a sir to get something from you type of sir? That's where you have to kind of feel that shit out. You're being paid to say sir. They're being paid to say sir. Service is how they're going to get their money. You know what I mean?
Right.
They are professional when it comes to customer service. That's why they have call centers. That's why world known as far as, like I said, foreign overseas workers. They're known for nursing. They're known for care, for house cleaning. They're all over the world, man. Filipinos, that's the biggest problem with Filipinos. They travel. And that means relatives that are traveling are letting them in on the people they're living with. So they're not naive.
How's the safety though? Because some people
Certain
want me to
areas,
go outside and
like I said, there's extreme poverty in certain areas. There's certain areas you should not want to go to.
Makati. Tell me
Makati's, Makati's fine. BGC is even better. Soho is better. Quezon, certain areas like that. You can walk all day, all night on the street. It's no big deal. But there's certain areas, and as you can see, there's law enforcement everywhere. There's always security guards with guns out or a shotgun or something. If something was to happen, nothing really happens, but that air is there. That there's protection in those areas. There's other areas you'll never see that. Like where I'm at in the province, unless you're standing in front of a bank, you ain't gonna see that.
Chat, you guys probably can't see, but this chick has like these AI fucking watermarks on almost.
Yeah, I can see them at the bottom corner, bottom right hand corner is got the Dzine.ai enhancements on a lot of these on these pictures that you're showing right now. But Facebook is all you need, bro. Just get on Facebook. Here's the number one. It's a huge thing about Filipinos having multiple Facebook pages. This is the social media capital of the world. It's one of the highest when it comes to porn and everything else. Now, $400 to $600 a month in the Philippines is huge money. They barely make $300 to $400 a month. That's what I'm saying. You are already coming in top 5 to 1 percentile.
It doesn't feel that way though.
It depends on where you're at, like I said. And they're not going to let you in on it. They're never going to make you feel like they're desperate, but they're always going to ask you for shit.
So when I was and I'm probably wrong to do this, but when I was in Colombia, even when I'm not in the red light districts like Parquíos or whatever, the women would give me elongated stares because they already knew, like, oh yeah, you're a foreigner. So they're like staring at you with lust. Like I'm talking like a whole family, the mother, the oldest daughter, the youngest daughter. They're all just kind of looking at you and constantly looking at you. In Thailand, it's the same thing. Like they're all looking at you. It's like, okay, but here it's like, and granted, I've only been here like 12 hours. It's not like I've been here that long. Right. But 15 hours, more or less. Since the Filipinos are also known for their cooking, I think I'd be cool with a girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like I don't really feel like
you definitely. There is. Let me put it this way: there is an ROI when you deal with the Filipino. You are going to get something for your time. You know what I mean? It's just how much and what you're doing in order to get your ROI. As far as your girlfriend experience, as far as you wanting to stay for a period of time, you can have a girl come in and clean for you, or you can get to the extreme of having a full-blown relationship. And again, like I said, it just depends on where you meet.
But you're paying, right? Like you're still giving some type of like, allowance or some shit like that. Especially when you're American. I'm sure if it's not that, it's going to be them constantly asking you for something.
Yeah, I mean, what American girl doesn't do that? I'm just curious. Pay for my nails, pay for my hair, pay for this, pay for that.
I have not encountered that, and it's probably the age gap or just because like I've had girls try to slowly introduce it into their relationship, and that shit turns me off to the fullest. Like, oh, well, can you at least put some gas in my car? And I'm like,
no. And so, like I said, I'm being as real as possible. Social media has been here. Social media has corrupted all women. And if they're into the culture of African Americans or so on, or black people, then they already know what the sisters are doing in America. You get what I mean? If they're asking in America, these girls already know that you should be already programmed for that, right? Like I told you, they're very smart and very quick on how things work.
Oh shit! I think it's like I don't want to deal with a woman and I guess you see it a lot when you come overseas. It's like because she knows you can is why she wants it. But if she knows or feels like you can't, she'll find another reason to be around you. And this is what pisses me off about third world country women is just like they will give like they'll still have a boyfriend who is way poorer than you are. Can't rub 2 grains of rice together level of poor. And she'll still entertain this poor dude but still expect financial relief from you. And it's kind of where it's like, yo, at the end of the day, this woman is going to become a bill. And I don't even fully have her loyalty. So it's kind of just like, what is the point?
I was just saying in another room.
And that's why when I go to these countries, I run through these women. Like I don't really settle down with any of them because I see this early. Some dudes, I've realized this too. A lot of dudes are so delusional. They want to tell themselves that this woman
delusional or soft. You could say it either way.
Both. Yeah. Super delusional. A lot of dudes come to these third world countries and they want their woman. Oh no, she's only for me. She's not talking to anybody else. Therefore, I'm going to support her. I'm going to do this. And it's like, yo, bro, she might just be with you to run it up until it's time to leave you.
Right.
But and when she leaves you, she's always going to double back on that broke ass, can't rub 2 grains of rice together ass nigga. But for her to come back to you, you're going to have to buy her back. And I'm like, I'm not entering into any relationship like that. I can't do it.
Okay, so highlight what Uncle Gun said in the paragraph. Just
Uncle Gun.
You need to have Uncle Gun. He's my moderator, but he's been in this.
Allows. Okay.
How about I allow what? How about I allow you to stay in my presence? You know what I mean? There's 7,000 plus islands here. He's absolutely correct. You can go anywhere. So once a girl gets exposure to you and actually sees the kind of environment that you stay in, she's going to want to stay in that. You shouldn't have to pay for her to be in it. She should want to stay in it because what's she going to go back to once she's in your orbit? You get what I mean?
Okay.
Play on that. All this other stuff about what were you going to do if your mom and dad didn't have this and that before I got here? Why all of a sudden am I your fucking answer? Don't go that way. Don't be Captain Save-A-Hole because there'll always be another fucking reason.
But you know that's what a lot of girls expect.
You already know if you tell them that I'm not about that, and if the first thing you open your mouth, you got to go. I can go find me another Filipina.
Yeah.
Why are you staying into
I do, though.
I know you do, but we're saying this for the general people that are listening. Don't play into it. Play out of it. Yo, how many of you guys are around? I'm the fucking unique one. You're not.
But you see why I'm saying to you, this is why I end up kind of just running through girls, because it takes me about first interaction.
And that's why I say you got to pick a better girl. Pick one that already has a job. Look at qualifiers. Do you have a job? Do you work at a call center? Where's the area that you're looking? Are you looking at a club area? Are you picking up a club girl? Are you picking up somebody that actually has a job and says, you know what? It's motherfucking 10 o'clock. I got to go to work in the morning. Or I work at night because the Americans are up and I'm only available during the days or my days off. That means she's working at night, which means she's dealing on a call center to Americans during the day. You're 13 hours ahead of the West Coast time or East Coast time. So if they're saying, nah, I can't do anything tonight because I got to work, I mean, she's a call center girl. She's not a freelancer. She's not somebody, but she'll still use you for money if you let her. Why not take a couple extra bucks than what she's earning? But if she earns her keep and she doesn't ask you for much or ask you for anything besides time and company, then you're already going down the right road. Unless she's setting you up for the long game.
So what percentage of the average Filipina is only looking for a way out when they talk to these gringos?
Honestly, 95%.
So, okay, stay there, Ronin. Stay there. 95%. So that would 90%. Mean not 95% of them are running game on you. They just have different game.
Exactly. But isn't that true of any woman?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
100%.
so why would we lie about Filipinos knowing that we're already coming in on a higher income basis of living our life? Period. We have a higher standard of living.
Because and this is a conversation I think needs to be had more in this space, because we are coming from a Western mentality. No matter how far across the globe you go, your mind is structured to have a Western mentality. So you
Exactly.
immediately put a woman who the most money she'll ever see in her life is $600 at all at once. You're putting her as almost your equal in some instances.
And she is not. You're exposing her to shit that she's never been exposed to.
But
100.
but as a Western man, you're naturally putting her as your equal. You see
So
what I'm
then
saying?
go back to what Uncle Gunn said. Uncle Gunn said, I'm allowing you to be in my space, which you had never been exposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you giving an allowance?
And he says every single time that I was in PI, I was smashing a girl, her friend, her sister, etc.,
Thank you.
all in the same week. I'm a mercenary with a blue book. I get the deal I want. There's no deal.
I love Uncle Guns, bro. Put it down
Okay,
for
but
me.
see, but look, but then niggas gonna be like, yo, homies hub, you always traveling the world and dicking down all these girls. Why don't you settle down, nigga? This is why. Because it's it's hard to, for me, it's hard to settle down with these women, because if it's not in a subservient role, then it needs to be like, yo, you're just one of many. Like, it can't be you're my main chick now. I don't talk to anyone else. That's fucking absurd. That is absurd. What you make in a month to feed your family and your relatives, I can blow it in a night, and it would not even affect me. So it's kind of just
You're
like,
absolutely right. But
you know
here's
what
the
I
thing.
mean?
Let me clue you in on some things. All Filipinos that have a job, one, they have to cover the fact that they're no criminal record. They all have to have college degrees to work. That's how competitive this market is. That's why I said find a girl that works. Hospitals, they're legitimately college level. That's the minimum you should be looking for. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They haven't completed school. They haven't completed college. Then you already know what time they're on. Matter of fact, my girl was just talking about a chick. Another Filipino chick had her online, and she was bitching her out because the girl's 18 with 5 fucking children.
Jesus Christ.
18 years old already with 5 kids. What dude is one gonna? I don't give a fuck how beautiful you are. You are a pass around at that point.
I don't think we talk about how bad some of these women's lives are overseas. Like, if you were to take that and put that in the US, that's crazy. But yeah, so that's my point. I feel like if you're coming out of the US and then you come over to these countries, it's like they also are trying to adopt a Western mentality where they feel like they should be put as your equal to some degree. And some men just do it naturally, like, oh, I found my wife. And it's like, yo, bro, and I could be wrong, but I'm like, bro, this woman cannot do anything for you
She
besides.
can't fathom. Listen, she can't fathom the level of income that would be in your bank account. That shit would be bled. You know how you have to learn money management?
Right.
How you acted as a child or when you were younger and you first got your first couple $1,000s, how fast that shit went. And see, because she's exposed to your income, she thinks that shit just comes easily. No hard work, no nothing. You guys just run a printing press at home and your money is there.
Mhm.
Even though they know in themselves how much of a struggle it is to barely make 300 to 400 US.
See,
I
but
mean?
still, but still, though, right? Someone like you, you're still in a relationship. So how do you even make that dynamic work?
You bring her in slowly. You expose her to certain things and you don't give her access to nothing. until she's ready. You teach her. These are the ones that you can mold to teach. And they want to learn. They want to learn from somebody older that's more worldly and wise. A lot of these Filipino men, and I'm not trying to talk bad about them, they're not highly educated. They're not driven. They know they can run through these chicks so many times. You know what I'm saying? So they're not motivated to have to do anything.
How is it for the Filipino man out here? Are they like getting love out here? Or I mean, like we're always under that impression that either when we go to these countries, they have loyalty to these men and they use us, or we're under the impression that they do.
Think about this. You got Filipino guys that are barely making $300 to $400 to maybe $500 a month, and then both household members have to work if they're going to actually get ahead in life, because that's not enough to live on. You get what I'm saying? So you got a Filipino man that's making way less money to you, having to do less effort and getting the same thing you're getting for you putting out what? So yeah, you need to come here on the mentality that $300 to $400 a month is your whole fucking monthly salary. There's no fucking way you're gonna have me digging holes for you when I know the dude in your fucking province isn't doing half of the shit I'm doing for the same attention. You have to have that fucking mindset.
Okay.
And if you don't, you're a fucking idiot. I'm talking to everybody in the room.
So that just confirms that the women that expect me to do the most that their own men wouldn't do is because there's other foreigners coming here and they're skewing their mentalities and their expectations.
Or they already know that you're just a pushover and that you're going to do it because you want access to them. But that's where I say you need to take charge of that right off the bat and say, look, there's another one of you down the road. How many guys that come across you every month versus how many women do you think I'm going to run across that can do the same thing as you? And really, what are you giving me at the end of the day? Your box and your company. That's it. Those are the only two things you have to offer to me, besides for your beauty and maybe looking good on my arm. What other two things do I have of value from you for me giving you all this time? And like I said, back to what Uncle Gunn said, I'm allowing you in my hemisphere, in my orbit, something you would never got without me being here.
But I just think it's crazy that they have the expectation, almost like they're entitled to it everywhere. Everywhere in the world I've been, women.
That's the unfortunate thing about social media, though. They give these women the delusional factors. And that's why I said, if you got a Asian woman that's already in the hip hop culture, you already know who she learned from. She's already braiding her hair, long fingernails. You already know the trait.
Thailand.
Why would you go and fuck with that type of chick when she's already in your hemisphere as far as the mentality of what you're trying to get away from? You can't hide from the internet. The internet's global now. So if they're interested in black people, what do they start doing? They start researching what black people are into, what kind of things black men like: big butts, titties, hair being done, nails. That's what they think that we like, versus the loyalty. Besides, they've all been trained to be women that know how to take care of men. That's beside the point. Okay, they are raised to be wise. They do know how to cook. Brother brought up, hey, all these Filipinos, these women know how to cook. And here's the biggest thing. There was a fucking zombie apocalypse or whatever. There was no power. Hey, these bitches can start a fire and cook off a fucking fire, okay? They don't need a fucking kitchen. Matter of fact, most houses are built with 2 kitchens. Outdoor, indoor kitchen. The outdoor kitchen cooks all the stinky shit and the shit they want to cook on an open fire, just like a grill area. And then they have an indoor kitchen for everything else. My girl just got exposed to a motherfucking microwave, bro. Not more than a month ago when I brought one.
That's fucking crazy.
And she was like, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Matter of fact, we just had motherfucking microwave popcorn and she was so fucking elated over that shit.
That is fucking crazy.
But I'm not exposing her to everything off the bat. I'm teaching her.
Okay. Now what you're saying to me is really resonating. It was resonating before, but now it's really resonating. Like, okay.
You don't expose her to everything you have access to. Are you fucking nuts? How is she going to gain any value to what you're showing her? or what you're giving her if she thinks it's just automatically going to be there. No, you're going to work towards some shit. I'm not going to just expose you to everything I have access to.
Oh man, we are fucking poisoning the women in Southeast Asia, because I kid you not,
the internet and social media is poisoning all the women globally.
It's niggas too, Ronin. It's niggas too. Niggas coming to these countries and giving women everything they want is doing it behavior, bro. They doing it too. Microwave maxing. Guys,
yeah, microwave maxing for real, bro. Thank you. You know, hey, by the way, hit the fucking like button if you do nothing else. Super chat, super sticker, it doesn't matter. You know, hit the cash app, whatever, but hit the like button at least. Yeah, I'm with the problems with.
Shout out to my guy Skeeter. So basically, if I want to find that wife I can move off grid with, I got to go to the provinces and not even be in a.
You might be able to find one, like I said, that already comes with money or have money, but they're going to be harder to find in the areas that you're in, Makati, BGC, you know, Paseg, Quezon. Those are areas where you can find women that are a little more.
I'll travel to the suburbs to find me a chick that gets elated over a fucking microwave. I would 100%. I would 100% be out there like and start a family, bro.
Right. Hey, Uncle Guns hit it right on the hire slow, train thoroughly, evaluate often, fire fast. and that's true. That's absolutely true. Yeah. You know, she's always on a marker. She's always on a marker. You know what I mean? You never give her full access to nothing. None of you guys should, no matter what country you come into. You're already coming ahead of the game. Why would you expose her to everything all at once? That's just dumb. You basically are leading with your wallet at that point. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Marty Mars says, I'm convinced passport bros just want to run through women, making women jaded around the world. They have the worst intention than the woman they complain about.
Right. He's absolutely right. A lot of these brothers are giving the other ones, legitimate ones like me, that take our time, that actually want a long-term relationship, bad names. But again, Marty, you know, military guys have been traveling forever. And if you're military, then you already know. Passport Bros is just one segment of the overall population of brothers that actually travel, actually establish lives and businesses and everything else.
Uncle Guns, let's see.
You say, read my jam above that. White guy stab you in the back over Filipinas. Especially, yo, man, my girl, let me put it this way. My girl's outside right now. I don't have a problem with her. She's always around her family. Her dad, her brother, her moms, or her sisters are always with her. She never goes anywhere by herself. Okay. If I'm not going, somebody else is with her. She doesn't drive. She's a passenger princess. The thing she drives is a motorcycle, and I would never get on the back of a motorcycle with her. She's from the country. She's been on farms. She fucking jumps motorcycles like a motocross rider. I ain't getting on that shit. Not with her. You know what I mean? So, you know, other than that, yeah, you know, white guys will look at it like my girl was in the mall. Let me finish this. SM Mall. Usually you'll see a SM Mall or this type of mall everywhere in every city. She was in the SM Mall, and a white guy was already with a Filipino in this small city that I'm in. And he had the nerve to look at her with his Filipino chick on the side. She wound up hitting him on the arm. She thought it was funny, and her sister saw it too and was laughing too. But, you know, my girl has like curly hair. She's not a normal Filipina that you would see. So it's very rare to see a Filipino that has not straightened her hair and denied her culture and doesn't want to be part of the darker skinned Negro type of people. You know what I mean? So at that point, that's when, you know, they'll start straightening their hair. They dye their skin here, just like Philippines, Japan, and everywhere else. A lot of these women are ashamed of having darker skin, so they dye.
That's crazy. Shout out to Rodna for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, my guy. For those of you guys watching, hit the like button. Make sure to bless the Cash App, $ Homies Hub. Support the Asia tour. We're in our third country in Asia. and let's see where we go next. Let's see how many more countries we visit in Asia before we leave the continent. Definitely open to more recommendations, suggestions. But I would say overall, me being in Asia, I could see myself living here long term. It's definitely a breath of fresh air away from Colombia in terms of just safety and just the feminism and the niceness of the women. Not to say I don't appreciate Colombia, but it's definitely a different speed. Like Colombia is very, very, very sex heavy. Like as soon as you land in Colombia, your libido is going to shoot up like 30% for sure. So, you know what I'm saying? Passport Bros going to Goon regardless.
Read the hit the one that says from Travel Lover.
What do you say? Ronin, how many kids does your girl have, and how much is rent for a clean, modern home or apartment in your province?
0. She has 0 children.
That's good.
As far as how much rent can be, it just depends. I'm leasing a home that used to belong to a naval officer and his wife. They're getting ready to go back to the United States. He's Puerto Rican. And at that point, what I'm paying for is in a gated, guarded community, 5 minutes away from an airport. And I'm paying $800 for a 4-bedroom house, 3.5 bath, with a garage and all that. So yeah, I'm only paying $800 a month for a 4-bedroom house. But I went ahead and brought a car. But guess what? I've been here 7 months. She waited for me to buy a car. I didn't just go and drop the money on a fucking car, but I want to get around. So you earn that. You know what I'm saying? You don't go and say, "Yo, no problem, babe. I'll go buy a 450,000 fucking peso car tomorrow." You make her look like you have to earn that shit. This is the problem with a lot of guys that have money. Oh, I'm just gonna go drop this. I'm gonna drop this. Take your fucking time. Ease her into that shit.
Since you ain't even been to Africa yet. No, I haven't for a lot of personal reasons, but now that my eyes is on going to Africa, I want to make sure when I go to Africa, I'm there for a long time. Like I'm in Nigeria for a certain couple of months. I'm in Ghana for a certain couple of months. Kenya, you guys have been selling me on Kenya heavy. Shout out to HTB in the chat. He's been shouting out Kenya. He's been shouting out where else has he been shouting out? A bunch of places.
What's up, Big Bass?
Shout out to Turnlonius. Supported. Thelonious. Okay. Appreciate the super chat.
That. We don't wait. The scale comes to travel in the Southeast Asia. You have to get some time under your belt. Absolutely. That's the biggest thing, guys. Like I said, a lot of these guys, they take that 14, 17-hour flight, however long, up to 20 hours, depending on which route you take and what airline. And you want to run through shit within a week because that's the longest you got. That's a waste of time. Why did you buy that ticket to fly this far? You could have went to DR or something like that and got it in real quick, flew your ass home.
Because niggas want to get it in with these Asian shorties. Niggas know they can do it in DR. Can you get it in with the Asian shorties? And I'll say this because I just left Japan. We just left Japan yesterday, right? I was in Japan. I'm just being transparent and honest. Mm-hmm. There was a part of me that felt like, yo, you go to everywhere else in the world and you get coochie within the first 48 hours. Why can't you do it in Japan? And the reason was because I said, I'm not paying for it. I'm not tricking for it. I'm going to riz some shit. Well, guess what? In Japan, if you don't speak Japanese, they don't just open up to you. Even if they like you, they'll still run away from you because they cannot talk to you. So I'm like, damn. And I'm like, yo, some countries you have to really sit and embrace their culture and not chase pussy. And that's what I was doing the 2 weeks that I was in Japan. Like, I'm just embracing their culture, understanding them, seeing how things work. And I came to the conclusion, this is not a passport, bro, destination for you weekend warriors that want to run through shit. Don't go to Japan. Japan is a place you got to go there to really embrace their culture, embrace their way of life, learn their language, and see how far it will get you. Seriously.
But think about this. Japan is a westernized civilization. You're not rolling into some dirt poor place where they just are going to appreciate the fact that you make money. The Japanese yen is up, just like the American dollar is up.
Yeah, but I feel like if you go to the UK,
when they're used to the money that you're carrying, I mean, Japanese people are not poor.
Yeah, but if you go to the UK, you could probably be a weekend warrior. In my opinion, just because they like practice hookup culture. Inside of Japan, I don't think they practice hookup culture at all.
They're just conservative. They do.
You know, or I mean,
but again, what cities did you go to in Japan?
Sorry, say that again.
What cities did you go to in Japan? Did you stay on the mainland? Did you go to Okinawa? I mean, what? I mean, you know, there's a military base in Japan too, right?
Yeah, Okinawa. Yeah. So I was planning to go to Okinawa first, but I actually went to Osaka and then I went to Tokyo. I didn't stay too long because it's fucking freezing right now in Japan. I just couldn't do it. It was too much. Yeah. It's freezing. The people are super to themselves, so it's like it's cold. I've got to try really hard to socialize. Like the only thing that was making it good for me to socialize was because when I landed in Tokyo, I went into one of the clubs to kind of do like a business deal with the owner. So through that, I got exposed to all the dancers and the workers, and you know, I was able to talk to everyone and get content and things like that. But if I hadn't did that, I probably would have spent that entire 2 weeks in Japan to myself because that's kind of their culture. They have a very strong work culture. Everyone's to themselves in a cafe. If you don't know someone or work with someone, you're virtually not talking.
Do you realize there's a huge hip hop culture and a huge African culture in Black American culture in Japan? You ever heard of Sunday Love?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of that. I met a lot of Black people inside of Japan. I wasn't counting them.
So then why didn't you buddy up with one of them and let them get you in on some of the other things and activities that were there?
It was partially like part of it.
This is what I mean about taking the time. You could have cultivated that relationship before you showed up and say, "Hey, I've been following your YouTube channel for a while. I see you're into some of the same things, and I'm going to be coming in. I do film content. Maybe you can clue me in on some areas, and we can hang out, take them out to dinner, whatever." This is how you build long-term relationships on a broader scale on expat mode. You know what I mean?
Well, I was doing that with more of the Japanese. I wasn't doing that with the Americans, to be honest.
But the Americans can get you in with the Japanese they already know.
That's true, but a lot of the Black people that I met, they were on vacation and they weren't even around any Japanese. They were like,
you got to look for the Black YouTubers and content providers that actually live.
Shout out to him. I don't know if he knows of my channel at all. Shout out to Shogun of Newark or something like that. Mm-hmm. It had dawned on me I should have tapped in with him when I went to Japan, but I don't know, man. My brain was all over the place in Japan. He's been out there
in the Philippines. You know, there's like Black Filipino. He lives right there in Manila. I could have cued you into a lot of like Black YouTubers.
Ronin,
there where you're.
It didn't even hit me to contact you until you hopped on the live. I'm like, oh shit, Ronin is in the Philippines. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, like what am I doing? I'm not taking advantage of the people that I know. It's crazy.
Right. Or the ones that are actively on YouTube putting out, you know, information. Positive information. There's a young brother that does a lot of the housing situation and how to find good housing in Quezon and other areas. He actually reviews apartments and leases and different things. There's a lot of positive brothers out here that you wouldn't even know they were here because they ain't in that bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, Sunshine Shoulders is out here. You know, there's so many guys out here that you would never really know they were here.
Wait, hold on. Let me read this comment. It says, you're not spending time to learn the culture. You're on a sex binge. Rizzing up chicks ain't planting your flag, bruh. You have to consistently go, not a week or 2 months on end to thrive. So I did not go to Japan with the intention of running through chicks. I already knew that wasn't going to happen. What I did want was to test my ability to penetrate into their society. One of the ways I do that, on top of trying to do business deals and things like that, is seeing how I can talk to a regular woman and gain her interest, right? And I don't go to countries like Colombia or a DR to try to do that because virtually every encounter you have with a woman in some of these countries is going to turn into sex and how she can leverage you using sex. I try to do that in places like the UK. I try to do that in places like Canada, Japan. So I'm like, okay, I see that to break into business with the Japan, uh, with just like the Japanese people, you need to speak Japanese. So I thought to myself, okay, this is going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, especially to do within 2 weeks. Even though I did get a sit down meeting, I did get a deal cut. It was dope. I said, okay, so this should translate easier into talking to the women then, because if I could do a fucking deal in Japan and I'm not Japanese and don't speak Japanese, I could definitely do something with the like woman. And I realized that the women are extremely conservative, extremely shy, and they'll basically run away from you, even if they like you, because they know they can't talk to you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, bro, this is not Thailand, this is not Colombia. You're not about to come here and just run up and down Japan, bro. Like you're gonna have to really.
And you should have known that.
Yeah, but you gotta go into a place thinking you gonna do what you do everywhere. Like, nah, I'm gonna do the same shit everywhere.
And that's the problem with Americans.
Japanese Johns on my finger.
And that's the problem with Americans. We go somewhere thinking we're gonna riz them up, and we're not gonna need to learn anything about their culture, or at least have an understanding of the expectations of the people we're going to be dealing with, their traditions as far as bowing, shaking, what hand you should offer. Certain places in Arab countries, you better not offer them your left hand.
Yeah,
and not understanding those things, you're going to do something fucked up and insult them.
See, it's easier to just hop on a flight than it is for you to sit down and do some adequate research. And I'm realizing, before I just jump to my next country, I need to sit down and read on this country, like in depth. Because what I'm seeing from everyone, even people that live in Japan, they're like, yeah, because I was telling them, I was like, it seems like nobody wants to interact with me once they know that I don't speak Japanese. Like the only reason I got that deal with the club was I went through Instagram. So I used my Instagram, my social media influence, my music influence, and that's how I got to sit down. Like they really like the music, they like the video, which if you guys didn't see it, let me just play the trailer real quick. This video was how I got the deal, right? This right here. Told you I would never leave Colombia. They said I would be stuck only going to the passport bro destinations. Can you believe these guys? We've traversed South America. We've traversed Europe. And now we're in Asia. I'm here to make it happen. I'm here to really set history and show you guys that I'm gonna take this farther than anybody ever has. We made it. We're in Japan. I'm showing you the baddest of the baddest across the globe. Different cultures, different food, wonderful nightlife. Who can compete with me? You wanna go head to head with me? The big homie. I can't be stopped. I can't be beat. This is my house. This is my shit. I'm here to set the record straight. We finally made it. We've won. Yeah. So,
all right, bro, with the intro.
Yeah, that was like, yeah, we could do some work. So I'm going around with the camera, catching all the best moments.
Man, why didn't you show him some of that rapping talent that you got?
No, I showed him. I was like, yo, I would love to come here, open up the club, perform. I'm like, that would be dope to say I'm like doing a little performance circuit in all the clubs.
Right.
And through that, he gave me special access to every club he owns in Japan. I could go in there for free. I get like VIP access and everything. So that was dope. So I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, if I could cut a deal like that my first night in Tokyo, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be.
And my question is, why did you take advantage of that and parlay that into something else? By the way, King Gray says something in your chat too. He says, HH, you're a big anime fan. That's the #1 spot for anime.
Yeah.
That's a commonality on so many levels with Japanese people.
You know what it is, man? I feel like I don't know. I feel like I didn't have enough time. I think that's just a better way to put it. I think if I would have had a month in Japan,
you didn't take the time to plan. You wanted to rush into it.
I didn't. I was on a binge because, like I said, it wasn't like I'm over there chasing women and chasing hoes. It's more like, no, this country's gonna be like everywhere else I go. I'm gonna land and everything's gonna open up for me. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna have to look too hard. Everything's just gonna land for me. And then when I got to Japan, I'm like, no, actually, everything is going to stay away from you. You're going to have to break into these places, learning their language, learning their culture. Like that couldn't be more true than Japan. You know what I mean? So, okay, we got somebody that we add into the stream. My guy, Heck, what up, G?
Hey, what up? What up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, bro. We're in Manila right now in the Philippines. Right now, bro. Right now.
How's the weather over there? I know there was a few storms that hit that area recently.
It actually just started raining like 2 minutes ago.
Yes.
Darnell, I'm gonna need you to cam up, bro. You're gonna have to cam up. At least just show me your face.
That soldier boy is Darnell Elliott. I know him.
Yeah, if he could just cam up and show me his face, then he don't got to keep his camera on. But he do got a camera just to hop on. Okay, cool. What up? What's good?
What's going on?
What's up? Talk to us.
Oh, no, I was just enjoying the show. I loved, gotta be honest, I loved that little intro video thing you did.
Thank you. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Yeah. So you came a long way since. I mean, it's been a few months since that whole thing with between you and QB. I was just like, I mean, how far? I think back then, I think you were still relatively new, or just got your channel started or something.
Yeah. We're at like 3,800 subs. We're about to do a little countdown before we get to 4,000. Yeah, I think back I must have had like 1,000, 1,500 subs somewhere between that time. So we have gained a couple thousand subs since then, for sure.
Oh, okay. Hey, man, congratulations. Moving up in the world.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I definitely appreciate it. Shout out to Tyson. I'm seeing this super late. Says $5 for the Baddie Fund via Cash App. Shout out to you. I appreciate it very much. You guys can definitely donate to the Asia tour. Like I said, we are touring Asia. This is our third country so far. You guys can support. And also do remember, for those of you guys tuning in and watching, we are launching the Homies app. It's going to be a social media platform for all the homies. Share all your travel experiences, your general day-to-day kinds of experiences. And it's a safe place for men to be able to just share things in general. So stay tuned for that. Your donations do go towards that. We finished we actually finished the entire design for the app in Japan. Now we're just connecting all the back end stuff, and I hope to launch it by the new year. So, Heck, talk to us, bro. What's up, man? What's new?
Nothing much, man. Nothing. I wanted to jump in on this Japan conversation.
Yeah. Talk to us. What you thinking?
I think some parts I agree with you, some parts I disagree with you. I think we all just share our own anecdotal experience. And
Okay.
I think one thing I got from Japan is that I've been to Japan twice. First time I went was a month, and then the second time I went, I was there for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I went in like 2024, then I went back again this year. And just some things that I had learned myself is like it could get very isolating. A lot of people that promote this type of Japan real estate, you can find cheap real estate outside of Osaka or outside of Tokyo, and you could live here for X amount of dollars a month. And a lot of the social media, they push this whole kind of trend about Japan content, right? People see Japan content and they just like fall in love with it. But I think you highlight a lot of things that a lot of people don't highlight, which is the normal day-to-day life in Japan. If it's your first time going somewhere, you're going to be like so starstruck that you made it, right? That was my first time. My My first time, I was starstruck. You know, I was just like, oh, I'm here. I made it all the way over here from New York. You know, 14-hour flight. Got over there, had a good time. But I think once you really start to settle in, the second time I went to Japan, it was more digital nomad, you know, so it's more like I've already been to Shibuya, Shinjuku, Roppongi, all the spots. You know, I've been to Osaka, Kyoto, Kamakura. I was like now trying to really start to get in to the day to day, and you really start to see that as a normal person. Like if you don't speak Japanese, you're gonna have a major like the day to day out there is gonna be a totally different experience versus a tourist or someone that pulls up with like a day-to-day agenda of seeing the sights and all that. So I do agree with you there. The thing that I wanted to mention is that I'm not sure if this was already discussed earlier, was I think Japan is one of those spots where you got to like play to your strengths. You know, like me as a Latino, Puerto Riqueño, you already know that I always got to find a salsa spot. So when I pulled up to Tokyo, I found me like a salsa spot in Roppongi, you know, and went straight over there. My channel's small. I'm not here to promote the channel and all.
No, shout it out. Go ahead, bro.
I went live on my channel at one, it was like a reggaeton party in Shibuya. And it was like it was in the summer, this summer, it was in August. But I went to like a reggaeton party. So it's like Japan, if you really want to kind of like, if you really want to get settled in, you first have to be integrated with people that are already integrated, you know, like, and then you use that as like layers into while you also build your language. Yeah. You know, and that's how I kind of got in a bit. I went to this like the salsa club, finding chicks that like Spanish music. So I'm like, all right, now I got my little spot. I went to Harlem in Shibuya, that Harlem club plays hip hop music. So a lot of people go there. It's like you see some people of color there. They play hip hop music. People that go there like hip hop music. So you gotta like start to kind of like, I think that's one thing I had to learn the first time versus the second time going to Japan. It was like you really got to play to your strengths in a country like that, and kind of get integrated into the day to day.
Now, what do you disagree with that was said about Japan, though?
No, I'm not sure if I disagree with anything. I think it's probably just I'm not sure. I guess my question is like, did you find like any spots? Like, did you go to like a hip hop spot or something and check it out? Like, did you go to like certain spots where it might be like Afrocentric or something?
Did you go to the Pink, or have you heard of the Pink when you were out there in Japan?
No, I think I might have missed that one.
So, travel lover, shout out to you, or someone said it, like, why didn't you take advantage of the business? I did take advantage of it. I 100% did and will continue. The Pink was a club I found, and they're very performative. A lot of girls in there with different kinds of aesthetics. This was where it was like, okay, whatever you guys think Japanese women look like, they look 10 times better at the Pink. And they were absolutely gorgeous. I've come to the conclusion that Japanese women are more beautiful than women in Thailand, period. I'm not even about to argue that shit. And he has several clubs. He has clubs. He has one in Osaka. He has one in Tokyo, and he has one in Kyoto. I just did not go to the one in Kyoto, but I went to the one in Osaka, and I went to the one in Tokyo. They play only hip hop music. It was culture there. A lot of the dudes were showing me love. I got a lot of love from the Japanese men. Pause. Just to say that, like, I'm talking like dudes want to take photos with me. Like it was crazy.
They trying to steal your riz, man. For credit.
And one thing I learned about the Japanese culture in terms of how they respond to black people is they are obsessed with being black, like dreadlocks, braids, hat backwards. Motherfuckers is wearing do-rag.
How did you not hit a home run in Japan?
People are wearing a hat like this in Japan, but I feel like it's because they're so. It's like when they see the real thing, a lot of them are like nervous. They're like, "Holy shit!" Like,
yeah, you big as fuck. Most Americans are big as fuck, especially Black Americans. So they don't know how to take you. Are you a gentle giant or are you overly aggressive? They have us as overly aggressive at first, until they get to know us. Real quick, man, you need to read your $5 super chat from Terlonius. He really
Where's
needs
that
you
at?
to read it. It's
My bad, bro. I'm just seeing this. In Alabama, working, making great money, but suffering. Glad I found you guys planning the escape. Plan, bro. I planned for like a year and some change before I finally quit my job. So if that's what you want to do it. But if you just want to travel, man, and just save up some money and make time to travel and just gain those experiences. Darnell, sorry, man. I like know that you wanted to say something, bro.
Oh no, I just had a question. Like, so you didn't get the, I guess they call it like gaijin kind of experience while you were there, or your first outsider, foreigner. You don't fit in, you don't belong, kind of thing.
You gotta be in somebody's social circle before you even get called a gaijin.
Well,
that's intimidated by you.
Well, gaijin just outsider. I mean, I don't think you got to get into nobody.
No, you got to be part of a circle before you would even be recognized as somebody they need to try to separate from the circle.
I mean, it's not hard with, because we got a little melanin in our skin. You know what I mean? Obviously, you don't belong. You know what I mean?
I didn't get that, but what I did get was I tried to go into one of the clubs, and they were basically telling me, if you don't speak Japanese, you can't come in the club. And I thought that naturally being a black man, I'm gonna first assume, all right, you're being fucking racist. But when you learn that even the white dudes go through shit like that, if they don't speak Japanese, it's like, bro, like there is what I'm basically saying about Japan is I have to go back, because there is a level of Japan where it's like the outer layer is what you get to go through, and you get to basically like you get to experience as a newcomer. But there's a layer of Japan where when you can penetrate that layer, Japan becomes amazing. But it's really going to be because you need to be a part of a social circle, a community. Like, you're not about to just get that experience just because you like landed there. You know what I mean?
Hell no, you don't get that credit. That's what Hector was trying to tell you. You should have went through a brother or a sister that's already been established there, and let them kind of warm you into their social circle. That would have gave you a lot better content and exposure to the people to where they felt more comfortable with you. But when you try to go in cold turkey and rediscover, I always say, and I work smarter, not harder, why rediscover the wheel if somebody already has it already invented?
That's exactly what I was doing in Japan, and that's what I feel like I did that wrong. And I'm not trying to do that in the Philippines now. Like, I'm give me the gems. I don't know shit. Give me everything, because I'm not about to go outside looking for it. Like, I was doing that in Japan, looking for shit. And I'm like, yo, says, bro, how you don't know what gaijin is, Mosa? You supposed to look for gaijin hunters, women who look for foreigners. I didn't even know that existed.
It does.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, granted, we're talking a different time period, but my dad, he was in the Navy, so his ship used to pull into Japan all the time. He was usually in the Pacific, and so he used to go to Japan all the time. And he was the one that was telling me about it, especially
most likely he would have pulled into port in Okinawa,
Yokohama, I think,
or Yokosuka, Yokosuka, or
Yokohama. Yokohama is what he used to tell me.
Okay. But yeah, those bases, like I said, around those bases, of course, there's going to be some level of jealousy, I would say, because the foreigners come in, and I'm sorry, a lot of military guys go over there with the American mentality, even though they're told not to, and it rubs the locals the wrong way. So,
I mean, I don't.
Here's the thing of military briefings. You already understand what that is, Darnell, when you travel. Most military guys are given a military briefing so they understand the culture and what to and what not to do. A lot of civilians don't get that, so they don't know. But even with those briefings, you still got some guys, alpha males, think they got to be big, bad, belly ass, and they go out and offend a lot of people.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're definitely going to have a lot of that. But the only thing, like I said, what my dad had told me about was, it was like And I guess this was true for a lot of Asian culture, especially back in, we're talking back in the 80s, keep in mind the time frame. But, it was like white sailors were treated like a lot better than the black sailors. Like, you know what I mean? And, like the type of treatment that you were talking about, that's why I was kind of asking you earlier, hey, you didn't get any of the gaijin, especially the treatment, especially the first time you got there, because I think it was like Ronin has said, you got to get to know people and stuff like that before you could start getting into these clubs and stuff like that. Before you gotta, you can't just
a level of exclusivity when it comes to
yes.
certain things and given access. And if you don't
Mhm.
know the right people, you're never going to get that access. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
what you think you know or who you think you are. If you
Mhm.
don't know the right person to get that exclusive access, you're not going to have that level. So you want to be brought in people in that culture, in that country that have already gotten that exclusivity and that reputation in the community, so that when you're seen with that person, now it transfers to you. Because if they trust you to be in their circle or their association, then there's an honor level. Remember, there's a status symbol and status quos in certain areas, and Asia is a big one. Where there's certain level.
Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off there.
Yeah.
No, there's a ramen spot. I tried to go see this famous ramen shop, and basically you only get in through referral. You can't, and spots are like that, just like all over Japan. Like I tried to go to see this. I had this chef, famous in Osaka, but like I had to wait a long line. I tried to wait for another chef in Tokyo to get like tableside service, like some really world-renowned sushi. And the only way you get in is through like referral. You have to be in with somebody that's in, and that's like kind of like normalized like the culture out there a bit, So it's like a little bit of networking, mingling, integrating.
Yeah,
something like that. That's kind of normal, for like one of those types of, if it's like a really well-known restaurant, like hell, you ever tried to book a reservation at the Space Needle in Seattle? I mean, it was like a 1 or 2 year waiting list when I was there. I remember trying to go there just so I could say I went and I ate at the Space Needle at the restaurant up top. Like, nah, they're like, nah, bro, you gotta get on the list and wait 2 years.
Yeah,
but
the whole thing is, and cultures like Japan, there's a caste or a class system. Okay, so if you're not on a certain class or caste system, you're not invited. It's just an unwritten rule. Don't even look, because you don't even rate to be in the presence of those type of people. So that's one thing you have to understand about their culture is there are certain levels to even being in certain environments. So it's nothing personal. It's just you don't rate if you don't know, and if you weren't born into it. And since they don't know you, they can't say you were born into it. Money doesn't always give you access to things.
Yeah, I would even say this too, because I feel like a lot of people do this, like, oh, white people are just going to perform better than you overseas. Like I've been telling people, I've been traveling now nonstop for the past 1.5 years, and I'm not going to negate anybody's own personal kind of experience, but I have not encountered this white people are just always preferred over black. I just have not. I have not experienced that. Every single place that I go to, I don't feel like I get treated any differently than white people. I feel like in a lot of the places I'm at, I get preferred over white men. Like, I think there's this overestimation. Like, we overestimate how white is preferred. I'm not going to say white is not preferred. We know what the Europeans have done throughout history. But when you're in a country, and let's just say let's just use women because that's what everybody focuses on. If I'm in a place where there's 100 women, I can probably talk to 75% of them. 25% of them might not like me for whatever reason. 75% of them will talk to me the same. When your averages look like that, it doesn't matter if Timmy gets 99% of whatever he gets. You still have such a large amount of opportunity, it doesn't really matter. And I've never been in any situation where I'm dealing with a woman and it's between me and fucking Timmy Carter. Like that's never the situation. It's like if there is an opportunity that opened up for me, it opened up for me. It might not even open up to Timmy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of like, I feel like we overestimate white influence a little too much. I'm not going to negate it. It's probably very probable, but I don't see it that effectively as people make it seem. I just don't.
And you said you've been traveling, what, a year and a half?
Yeah, nonstop. Meaning, so I just like been living overseas. I've only
Yeah,
been back in the States.
give it time. All I can say to that is give it time, man. I mean, you'll definitely see it. You'll definitely see it more and more. Well, I mean,
how do you see it? Like, in what form do you see it in?
well, I mean, I've been to multiple countries. My first trip I ever took, as an adult, went to Amsterdam, and I saw it out there. Definitely for sure. You know, it's one of those things. Like, I mean, I was, be honest with you, yeah, I was not really getting a whole lot of play out there. I went down to Led Zeppelin, where all the bars and stuff were at. Kind of striking out. I mean, I'm not going to say, hey, I didn't have any W's, but, they were few and far between. You know what I mean? And then when I went to Brazil for the first time, like I had heard all the stories about Brazil, the stereotypes. Oh yeah, they love black men down there, and in Rio and all this other stuff. Man, as soon as I got down there, I'll never forget. I mean, there was one chick. I can't remember if she was the first chick I talked to down there or not, but it was like one of the first five. You know what I'm saying? Abby just like gave me that, when I tried to talk to her and stuff, just gave me the hand signal, like, nah, you know what I'm saying? There was a club kind of similar to what you had said, about not speaking Japanese. This was in Brazil though, and kind of, real exclusive kind of thing, I guess. Like I said, didn't get in. And I talked to at another club, I talked to one of the bouncers and stuff like that, and he was telling me, yeah, Rio was real prejudiced, what I'm saying? And he was a black Brazilian, and he was telling me about it. He's like, the only reason you get treated better than I am is because you're American. He's like, you be a black man here, actual black Brazilian, for example, and job opportunities are going to be few and far between. He's like, you better hope you're a big muscular dude, otherwise you'll probably be unemployed.
But Darnell, that's globally, man. Everybody has a preference, a class system, and
that's
you already know.
But that's what I was telling him.
Skin tone versus the lighter you are, the righter you are. I mean, that's already known globally,
right? But that's what I was. That's what I was letting Homie Hub know, is like, you just got to give it time. A year and a half. You can't really. Not to demean your experience or anything like that, but a year and a half, you're not going to capture. You may not capture it in a year and a half. It's just one of those things that takes time. Multiple trips. I mean, you're going to be out there living for a while. You'll begin to notice it, especially if you try something new. You'll definitely notice it.
I mean, if it's job opportunity, things like that, I mean, that's always going to fall to, like, make me a white guy, me a black guy, me as a white dude, I would be 100 times more like successful anywhere and basically anything. But I'm kind of just talking about, like, when you come to a new country and you have that American passport, I feel like your averages are so good. I'm not even worried about what white dudes do.
but
Because it's like I have so much of this in my face. I can't even tell there's greener pastures somewhere else. I can't tell. You know what I mean? Unless you're looking for that. Now you talked about you went to Amsterdam, you kind of struck out, bro. That has got to be one of the purest white countries in all of the planet. I'm sorry, bro.
Actually, it's not. It's not actually. Believe it or not, I mean, granted, yeah, there's majority white, hands down, but they actually have a high African population too.
Of course. I mean, everywhere in the world has a good amount of Africans there, but I'm like, Amsterdam is basically white and it has some of the tallest white women I've ever seen in my life. So, you know what I mean? I would expect you to strike out inside of Amsterdam. I'm just being real.
Yeah. I mean, but again, it wasn't just Amsterdam. Like I said, Brazil. I mean, now granted, Brazil, it's one of those things. If you don't speak Portuguese, of course you're going to strike out. And I didn't speak a lick of Portuguese back then.
There are a lot of people that would disagree with you on that point. I hear.
I'm going to disagree.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that disagree with that take.
No, right? those guys were paying. I'm just being real.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to say it just like, no offense to Darnell or whoever else's experience. Everybody's experience is different based on who you are, the level of confidence you have, and how you were brought up, what you're used to doing. A lot of guys are incels trying to travel for the first time. A lot of guys are fucking secure. Period. Point blank. They fumble around themselves. They fumble around talking to women in America. You're not going to go overseas just because you're an American and get a chick. You're not comfortable in America talking. You're not going to be comfortable anywhere talking. I've talked myself into a lot of things because I have a good voice. I know how to talk. And I carry myself with confidence. So I've never had the issues a lot of people are saying they had in any country I've ever been in.
Yeah, but if you can't speak the language, I mean, they can't. It does. They can't understand a word you're saying.
Right now, too many people in the military have gotten away with so much more, not knowing a goddamn lick of any language they've ever stepped in. Don't fucking say that shit.
Come on. That's damn well.
That does not low. He's married to a Spanish chick. He's married to a Colombian for 6 years and still don't fucking know Spanish. Don't tell me it only takes fucking Spanish for you to get away with, or Portuguese. You can still be taken advantage of. It's the same thing I say on every fucking panel. It doesn't matter how big you are, how many weights you pick up, whether you're a fucking Canada athlete or a musician. The reason you picked those things up as a kid because you were so insecure and you wanted to learn how to talk and move around women so they would fucking like you. It still does not improve your fucking personality or who you are inside. Until you guys deal with that shit, it doesn't matter what you do on the outside, how you make yourself look or feel. Until you have the confidence internally, you ain't going to do shit. And don't matter what your fucking language is.
Okay, but just listen to what you just said, right? You could talk your way, if you got the game, whatever, I get you, right? You can talk your way.
Do I need to break this down? Do I need to break this down?
Hold on. I'm breaking it down for you right now. Okay. Here's the thing: is that if you may have a game, right? But if the other person doesn't understand a word you're saying, I mean, come on. Let's just use common sense here. It doesn't take a college degree.
Yeah, but what Ronin is saying
this is getting real bad. Hold on, stop. Let me say this real quick. Way before there was a fucking translator, computers, and all these other things, military men have been marrying abroad. Have been marrying abroad. So all the fucking excuses stop here. Whoever's listening to me. Doesn't matter whether you have a translator. Doesn't matter. Those guys got away with it. Why? Because they had inner confidence. They had things that were going on about themselves that didn't matter to the girl. Maybe she wanted to learn English. And as long as you attempt to try, know how to say thank you, know how to say good morning, know how to say basic things, you can start to learn the language, but it doesn't take you knowing the language 100% to get in with somebody.
I didn't say 100%, but if you got, but I'm saying you don't speak one or two words.
Translating it, and I'm tired of talking about this. But I'm just saying, Darnell, every panel you get on it comes out to be a negative tone when it comes to you trying or even reaching the point of wanting to go somewhere, to have a new learned experience, and to get out there and try. I don't want to discourage young men from doing that at all. And to say
I don't discourage them either. It's just I don't sell other dudes' dreams. Like
nobody's selling anybody's a dream. Nobody's selling a dream. Everywhere. Until you take a foot outside, you don't start anywhere.
9 out of 10 of these Passport Bro channels are selling dreams.
But is Homie's Hub one of them?
I don't think he is. No.
Okay, so have you not listened to him, Javier? Have you listened to him?
I'm not. I don't. I mean, not on a daily basis. I don't. No offense, Homie Hub.
Here's the thing: you're walking in a certain room with the same message, but you're in the wrong rooms when you're giving those messages.
I'm sorry. You said what now, Ronin?
You walk in the rooms with the same message, but you're walking into certain rooms that don't have that message that you have to teach. Everybody that's in this room knows certain things already.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a Homie Hub. I think is different, but I have seen other guys also trying to promote their channels, this and that, and matter of fact, as much as I like QB, pause on that. You know what I'm saying? But Homie Hub back in the day called him out, and he did have it. He did have a point.
Here's the thing, and you keep bringing that up. Grown men are allowed to have discord. You agree or disagree? It doesn't matter.
Of course.
Hub from growing his channel, it doesn't stop QB. I mean, the fact that we keep bringing up past events instead of moving forward life means you're stuck in some kind of parallel. Appreciate that.
Not
karate.
Necessarily. The past, those that fail to remember the past are doomed to repeat it. A wise man once said those words.
The fact that you're bringing it up in Homie's Hub is not. Why do you need to do that?
The fact that I'm bringing it up here. No, what I was saying earlier, how we got on this was that I was just saying, let's face it, like when you saying things like, okay, you don't have to speak the language and you're going to be picking up women. Come on, man. That's selling a dream. That's selling the dream.
I'm going to stop this right now. How many times you just see my girl walk by? She just came to check on me after coming home from being around her family. She went and grabbed my water bottle. She's bringing me a drink. Bruh, come on. If you're going to listen to somebody is showing you how to do it.
Does she speak English? Any English?
Absolutely. Why would I come to
There you go. There you go. That's my point. That's how you guys communicate. You can't communicate if one person only speaks this language and the other person only speaks another language.
All right, hold on. Let me just chime in real quick.
Go to another country and then get online and start talking.
Let me just chime in real quick.
Right now, and I hate to say this to you, Darnell. Right now, you were saying you were going to go to Brazil or you were going to go to DR. You're going to bring up these Brazilian chicks. That shit fell through. I know you sold your property and all these other things, but you keep talking all these things, but you haven't fucking left the country yet. All the while you were doing all those things, not only did I leave the country, I'm fucking living in a whole nother country and been here for eight months already. When are you going to move instead of getting on these panels, bro?
Wait, hold on. Can I just
as soon as the doctor says I can? How's that sound?
Can I just hop in real quick? Look. I hear what both of y'all are saying, but where I'm gonna slightly side. Well, I'm not siding with anyone, but where I'm gonna have my agreement with both of y'all points is, from what I can understand, Darnell is saying is like, look, you're not gonna get that kind of experience you want when you don't even share anything in common as basic as language. And what Ronin is basically saying is, hey, you have a very limited and skewed viewpoint. You should actually really listen to the people that have been doing this. It's been happening. I would say baseline attraction, you don't need language, right? You don't need language for baseline attraction. Like, if a girl is into you, she will make that shit happen even if she can't even communicate with you. Now, where you need language like I said, is when you're trying to penetrate a particular barrier that isn't easy to penetrate. Like, for example, maybe this girl is not that into you, right? That's where Riz and you being able to speak to her might actually have her start going, and you can now almost like persuade her to kind of be into you. But where this conversation started was you were basically saying, hey, you need to stay overseas a little bit longer. You will see that these women have a preference for white men. I don't want us to get away from that point because that was where this whole conversation started. And then it turned
absolutely
and things like that.
Allow me to elaborate.
Now, let me finish real quick. But
yes, sir.
At the same time, these white dudes are coming to these countries and they don't speak the language either. So now how are they getting these kinds of like results you're talking about if they're not speaking the language? These motherfuckers ain't coming to Thailand speaking Thai. They're not going to Japan speaking Japanese. They're not even going to Brazil speaking Portuguese. So if they're winning, why is that happening if they're not even speaking the language?
Well, as far as Japan, I can't speak on Japan, but I can say certain countries such as Korea or Thailand, for example, a lot of times those girls, they do learn at least a basic English. Hell, they're brought up at a young age to marry a foreigner. In the army, you had the army has a ton of military bases in Korea. Okay, they have what they call juicy girls that go and work the bars. They call them juicy girls. And a lot of times the soldiers fresh off the boat or fresh off the plane go there, right? These girls know a little bit of English, and their whole thing is trying to find a American husband. So they learn at least basic English. They take you home. Yeah, I mean, you might have finished a fifth or drank a 24 pack that night. You don't even remember going home with this woman. You wake up in the morning, not only she gets your butt up, sobers you up, hands you some coffee, gets you something kind of supplement that whatever hangover you had is gone, and she makes sure your ass get to formation. Then she tells you, okay, you come back here, when you're done for the day. You come back here. A lot of times, these girls, again, they learn a little bit they learn enough English because they're trying to, again, that's just how they're going to make it in this world, is marrying a foreigner. So that's a lot of times how these white guys win. And let's just keep it a buck here. Let's face it, but white men are known to be more wealthy than black men. That's just the stereotype. Again, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but that's the reason why white men are probably winning out here. You know what I'm saying? Or winning out there. I do see in the Passport Bro channels, they love black dudes out here and stuff like that. But 9 times out of 10, unfortunately, these dudes are showing everything is in the red light district, and that girl's probably everybody's girlfriend.
All right, can I jump in here real quick?
Yes.
So
Andre, hold on. Shout out to Andre for the 10,000 Colombian pesos. Appreciate you, brother. And again, that was the very person I brought up that's married to a Colombian woman for the last 6 years, known her for 7.
Oh, that's Andre Crossing Borders.
Andre Love Crossing Borders.
Shout out to you, my guy.
Salute, Andre.
All this,
who's a black man, by the way. Black man.
Yeah.
So
well, invite him to the panel. Let's invite him to the panel. And
Terry gets up on panels to argue with people that don't listen.
Yeah,
so that's
I think honestly, you're making a lot of your arguments. Every argument you're posing is from the minority, not the majority. I mean, even when you first came on here and said Passport Bros are selling you a dream, that's not what Mosa's doing. So if you want to cry about that, go to the channels that are selling you the dream, because Mosa's not coming over here trying to sell you that, right? We already established that. Then another one you said was the Juicy Girls. All right, another one you said was the Juicy Girls. There's still a minority of the women in Korea, in South Korea. That's not the majority. So these talking points you're bringing up are still like the minority, not the majority. I don't really understand. I'm having a difficulty understanding. You're like not landing the plane properly or something.
As far as the juicy girls in Korea, yeah, I'm not saying hey, every Korean woman is a pro. I'm not saying that at all, but there's quite a bit of them. Okay. Now, as far as the passport bros selling dreams, come on, man. Let's keep a spade a spade. And anybody that says that, oh yeah, there's just one or two people out here, selling dreams and scamming is a damn lie. It ain't no different.
We're talking about Moses'
it's no
channel.
different. It's no.
We're not here talking about what content creators do.
About. That's what I'm talking about.
You're bringing a totally
different
talking point.
No, that's not a different. No, that's not a different talking point.
Hold on, y'all.
That's the same thing.
What he's saying is, and what Ronin's saying, and I'm gonna say it on this particular channel. We're not the other passport bro channels in this space. Keep what's going on in this space. In this space, we don't care about what the other passport bros are selling. If you watch my channel, I became a channel from giving niggas the real. Like, I don't come over here pretending like these niggas are not cuffing prostitutes or nothing like that. We talk about the real. And what we're saying is you can still come abroad as a black man, win, find a woman, find this, find that, depending on how you set up your situation. So earlier, before you hopped on the panel, they're saying, well, hey, Mosa, if you go to every fucking country putting yourself amongst hoes, all you gonna find is hoes. True. So that means when I went to Japan and I'm like, damn, this technique I had isn't working, it's because I'm doing the same shit. Everyone checked me on that in the chat. Like, you cannot move like that in Japan, looking, putting yourself around hoes, because you're just not gonna find a girl like that. Japan, you move how you should, and things will work for you. The way you're coming across is like, nigga, it don't matter what you do, you're black, so you basically gonna fail regardless. And that's like that's like kind of how you're coming across though in the conversation. And now everyone's like, wait, hold on, bro. There are black men that are winning out here. Like, there are.
No, I never said because you're black, and I apologize for cutting you off, but I never said because you're black you ain't gonna win or you ain't gonna get actually find, if that's what you're trying to do. I never said those words. I'm just saying earlier it was about preference. Yes, white men are preferred. Does that mean that black men aren't going to win? No, that doesn't mean that at all.
Yeah, but you got to give me real examples, and I was waiting for you to give me real examples. You just talked about when you went to places and you got rejected. You didn't.
Yeah, I got rejected several. I got rejected several times.
Yeah, but you didn't put it like, yeah, she like rejected me, but later that night I saw her making out with like a white dude, right? Like that's not what it's okay. Maybe she just rejected you because she wasn't into you. Because I've definitely had those moments where I'm like, man, she must not like black dudes, and whole time she has a black boyfriend. So it was like, oh, well, it ain't that she don't like black dudes, she just don't like me. So that's where you have to do some introspection, like, okay, maybe it's me, maybe it's not even a colorist thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, no,
back then I think it was more or less I just didn't speak the language. But what I was saying was, when you're talking, a lot of these content creators, and again, I'm not naming you per se, but when say, oh yeah, you're American, you black, and you got a passport, American passport, you're going to win. I mean, I'm like, man, you sound like a crypto bro, or a guy trying to sell an options course. That's all I'm saying.
So wait, so you don't think having a passport allows you to win as soon as you land in some countries? I mean,
but they don't like you for you. If you got if it's because you're winning because of a passport, it's not that you got game and all this other stuff. And earlier it was said,
Darnell, bro, I don't know how much experience you have with women in your life, bro, but I'm gonna tell you this: most women
plenty
like you. Most women are not gonna like you for you. But if you want,
I agree with that statement.
If you want to know if a girl likes you for you, put two niggas with passports in front of her and the same amount of money and see which one of them she chooses. She's gonna start finding little shit that's gonna separate you from the other guy as to why she goes with you and not the other guy. Whether she's a regular girl, prostitute or not, like when you have a blue passport, women who are constantly looking for value, they're constantly looking for value amongst their partners. Having a passport 1,000% puts you above every other dude. They're not getting a better deal than you because they're white. They're not getting a better deal than you because they're their local man. Like they're still dealing with the same woman. It's a woman that's looking for an opportunity. Women do this in every country, in every day and age, everywhere. What we want is we want a woman that we can get something genuine from her and maximize basically our time with her, whether it's leverage or like however you do that. Ronin was talking about he doesn't introduce his women to everything he's able to offer, right? Because you're going to destroy her mentality. You have to ease her into it. Whatever her reason is for being with him, it's her personal reason. You will kill your brain cells trying to figure that out. The point is, does she do what she's supposed to do for him, and does he like that, and does she respect him? If you're getting all of that, then it doesn't matter. So what I'm going back to is you get a plethora of that when you land in some of these countries, and it's so much. I don't care if 99% of the girls he runs into like him, when I have more than I can handle in front of my face, right? And when I hear these narratives that you're coming up with, what it derives from is no matter what country you go to, women are not going to like you. They're not going to prefer you because you're black. I'm not saying that that's what you're saying.
No, that's not what I said.
But the mentality
nowhere near.
And like how you're saying it is where it's come from. Is like, no, bro, they're definitely going to prefer white men. Okay, so are you saying that every time I go to a country where there's other white men, the women are not going to be into me? They're not going to respond to me. They're not going to. I'm like, yo, bro, I don't even notice that white men get chosen more than me because I get chosen so much. Get what I'm saying? Like I don't even notice it. Like I like who cares? You feel me? Like this is a lot of love I'm getting. It's too much love, really. Like it's like damn. Like maybe I need to go somewhere where like I have to earn it a little more. That's why like I went to Japan. Like, okay, now I gotta earn this a little more. It's not just being thrown at me. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, what is even the point in even mentioning? Nah, man, like they definitely prefer white dudes. Do you know what else women also prefer? Tall niggas. You know what else they also prefer? Long, big dick niggas. You feel me? Like they like prefer a lot of things that you or I may not have, bro. You feel me? Pause. Yeah, pause. Pause.
I mean, we know what you mean. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the pause.
I mean,
let me say this real quick, and you can take this however you want. There's a type of person that has a negative mindset or a positive mindset. That person either sees the glass half empty or sees the potential and the glass is always half full. In life, I walk around with the glasses always half full. It hasn't failed me yet, and I'm 58. Okay? So I'm going to just let you know, you got to change your mindset to see better in your life. If all you're going to do is pick out the negative in life, that's all you're going to see.
it's not about negativity or positivity. It's about being realistic. Okay. I mean, we all talk.
When I got on the live, we talked about all the pros and cons. Did I not? Did I not tell you, Mosa, did I not tell you the negatives about being here in the Philippines? How experienced they are with dealing with American men? What little things to look out for? When you step in a conversation, you got to know what was talked about before. And all those things were discussed. And we had moved past the negative and we're getting into the positive things to look out for. Reinforcement of community, reinforcement of utilizing people that are already there, not reinventing the wheel, utilizing people that are already boots on the ground that can introduce you to other people. Classism. We've said all those things.
Yeah,
so you're halfway in the conversation where we already talked about the negative, and nobody in this room is preaching negativity. I don't. I know Mosa does not. I don't know Hector, but he looks like a positive young man sitting down there. So again, when you come in the room, you got to also read the room and read the panel. Who's on the panel? Who's talking? Are those guys negative guys? Or are they sitting there spitting out positivity but not overselling it?
Well, you ever heard the name Tommy Vu? He sold a lot of positivity.
Again, there's another negative backhanded comment to a positive thing. You got to stop doing that.
You just proved this point.
Do
On
you
that note,
know?
Mosa, I'm about to drop, man. I want to say shout out to Ronin for joining the panel. Mosa, I appreciate you having me. Darnell, continue to work on yourself, my brother. Take care, everybody. Thank you, Mosa. I'll hit you up on IG if anything, man.
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna drop your channel in here again. Make sure you guys go follow Heck. I'm about to put his channel back up here.
Take care, y'all.
See you later, Heck.
Yeah, I just don't see the point in mentioning women's preferences in some of these places because, like I said, a lot of the narrative, and there's other channels that do this. It's not like I'm gonna single you out, regardless of where it's coming from. It's like they like focus on the fact that like these women actually prefer white. So it's kind of like, okay. So it's not like, and I'm not saying this is you, it's not like your sentiments about being with black women is good. Now you're telling us that when we go to other countries to look for other women, they also don't want us. So what you're internally saying is that nobody wants us, and you're basically trying for no reason. And what I'm saying,
No, sir. That's you got it wrong.
Hold on, I'm not saying that's you, but what I'm saying is the narrative that you're on the stream with is sounding very similar. So we're all giving you plenty of times to clarify as to where your point is coming from. But every point you're making, someone can just point to something else where it's like, okay, well, how do you like how does that determine she doesn't like black men? How do you know that's just not she doesn't like you? And you haven't been able to tell.
Well, I mean, when you go from one extreme to the next, like you just did in that prior example, then yeah, that would make you right. But again, no, I don't understand how anyone, any rational thinking person could say or see where I'm making a point where, oh, black men aren't desired or black man can't get a woman overseas. I'm not saying that at all. Nowhere near. Okay. All I stated was there is a preference, just like you made the point earlier about, okay, yeah, most women have a preference for tall guys. I think we all, us men on the panel could all agree with that. But it doesn't mean that they're going to, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to get they might get with a 5'8" dude. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, Darnell.
It happens.
Let me give you an example of what you're doing. I'm driving a Benz. I'm driving a Benz fucking i8, and you go, yeah, but a lot of chicks prefer Lamborghinis, right? And I'm like, okay. Like how does that change what my car does for me and what it's getting? Like it's like, me getting this i8, I have way more options, way more girls hop in the car than I've ever had in my life. Maybe if I could afford a Lamb, I would have even more girls. But like from what I'm getting, this is pretty damn good. Like I think I'm happy where I'm at. I'm actually getting a little bit more than what I could handle. And then you'll come in and say, yeah, but if you were driving that Lambo, you would get even more chicks who prefer you. What's the point in that? That's what I'm asking you. Like, what is the point in you saying that? Like, where is the spirit rooted in which you're mentioning that? Like, trust me, you stay overseas, you'll notice that they actually prefer white men. It's like, is it like you're losing your women to white men? Like, is that like the narrative? Like that's what I'm trying to have you.
No, it's just your eyes are going to open up as you gain more experience. As with anything, you're going to start to see things over the course of time as you gain more. I mean, you're talking about, okay, you've traveled less than 2 years. Okay. I mean, it's not to, again, it's not to
highlight the word nonstop. I've been traveling for damn near 10 years, but what I'm saying is I've been traveling nonstop. I mean, I've been living overseas for the last year and a half.
Okay. I lived overseas for about 4 to 5 years. I was employed overseas for about 4 to 5 years. So,
and me and you have different experiences, right? So when I first went to London, I was with an Arab chick. She's Arab. in London, first world country, and she was who I was staying with, was hitting it off, was doing everything. Like, she's definitely going against parents, defying me and all types of shit like that. But her parents have a more traditional, you have to marry another Arab, things like that.
Mhm.
That is expected. That is expected because in homogeneous cultures, they're going to prefer the home. That's always going to be the case, right?
Mhm.
Now, never in this instance was I tug of warring this woman with a white man. You get what I'm saying? Like that, it
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, like I could give you some pussy or I could give that white dude some pussy. Like, it's like, no, I don't. It was more on some, I don't care what my parents want from me. I like you. I want to be with you. I am attracted to what you are. So what I'm saying is, why would the reinforcement need to even be said that she might prefer a white dude? Like, it doesn't even occur to me that a white man is in the conversation until another black person brings it up. And this is what I see in the travel space. Like, I'll be overseas, I'll be in any country getting love from all the women, and I'll come on YouTube and a nigga is telling me something about white dudes. And I'm like, yo, bro, I was in Cartagena, prime example, and I had a white dude come up to me. Swear to God, if I'm lying, let me drop dead right now. I had a white dude come up to me and Jeff and literally go, yo, these black girls or these girls in general, like the Cartagena girls, are not feeling me. He's like, yo, like when I go to Medellin, I feel like I could hit it off anywhere, but I'm in Cartagena. He's like, these girls are not feeling me. It's like they're curving me for black guys. And I'm like,
Well, I mean, it's, like I said, as far as that goes, again, it's not about, going to, extremes. It's just, okay, I think it, just like, you gave and, I know I said this once, and, I just want to say it one more time, but, I can't remember if it was you or if it was Ronin that mentioned, again, the preference of a tall guy. Again, we all know that to be true. Doesn't mean that they're not going to date somebody, shorter. It's just, okay, there's going to be preferences. The thing is that with me, I guess you could say it's because, okay, I don't have a channel. I have no content on my channel or anything of that nature. So I'm not selling anything here. Okay, I have no reason to lie. I have no reason to manipulate. But a lot of these guys that get their passports, for the first time, unfortunately, and it's not just passport bros. I have a thing against the crypto bros. I have a thing against, the real estate bros. I have a thing against damn near anybody, any of these online gurus, because in my opinion, they're selling dudes' dreams, and they ruin more lives than pork chops and FEMA.
I think someone tried to jump on the panel. Make sure you guys cam up when you jump on the panel, and then you don't have to stay cammed up. I just need to verify you're not a troll. And that's pretty much it. I hear where you're coming from, and I think what it basically just comes down to is you are someone who looks at the glass half empty rather than half full type shit.
No,
right?
I just looking at it from a neutral standpoint. I'm neither optimistic nor am I pessimistic.
I don't think there's a plane in between you can sit at between optimistic or pessimistic.
Now,
you ever day traded before?
Yeah, I have.
You got no choice but to be neutral. Especially when day trading, you can't love a stock, you can't hate a stock. You just gotta.
Your mentality as to what you hope for when you pull a slot machine, you are either pulling that slot machine hoping you win or thinking you'll win or feeling like you're going to lose. There's no in between. And that's with every decision that we make in life.
When it comes with a slot, no, I apologize for cutting you off. But when it comes to a slot machine, just know that's always gambling. Okay, no matter what. So in other words, you're always losing, and they have what is called a payout rate on a slot machine. which means you're always losing. So if you want to call me pessimistic on a slot machine, then absolutely I am pessimistic on a scale of 1 to 10 being 12. I'm pessimistic on that.
But
There's
this
certain
is not a slot machine. Traveling is not a slot machine. Crypto, if you actually know what crypto is, we're not going to get into that conversation. Is not a slot machine. Real estate is not a slot machine. It's a numbers game. It's a probability game. And the problem is people enter into really bad scenarios where there's bad probabilities. Prime example, you're looking for your wife in a red light district. What do you think your probability is going to be?
Yeah. Man? This is going to be, slim to none.
Right. So if you are only paying attention to the people that are setting other people up for horrible probabilities, of course this will be the case. So when you see other black travelers talking about they found their wife in Thailand, whole time they found their wife in a fucking club on Walking Street, what do you think the probability is going to be that he's dealing with a whore? It's pretty high. See what I'm saying? Though we are a level above that conversation. That's where we're so above that conversation.
But from what you just said, from what it sounds like to me, now I think you're understanding you're being realistic when you say things like that.
Nobody on the channel has been unrealistic is my point.
I've always said shit like this. No one's that's why I think like you're kind of new here. Like you obviously got to be new to this channel, bro.
I even said it earlier. Remember, I just know of you when you were on Andrew's show. That was the whole thing with you against, not to bring up the past, but but yeah, I mean, I'm not really a passport bro. So, no offense.
Yeah,
someone said you're a plantation bro.
Let me say, look. Let me say this.
Uncle Ruckus, bro.
I'm not going to talk against your lived experiences because those are your unique lived experiences. Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to take that away from you. But the point of what we're trying to say is everybody has a different lived experience, whether it be positive or negative. And from those lived experiences, you observed what happened in the environment you were in, and you try to make predictions to fix some of those lived experiences so you don't have to experience them anymore. Nobody likes pain. Okay. But at the end of the day, you choose the actions you choose. The experiences are the consequences based on choice, correct? You understand what game theory is, right?
Absolutely.
Is basically a psychological way of understanding or trying to predict people's movements from time to time. Okay. Now, if you're sitting here saying because of your lived experiences, everybody else is going to have those same lived experiences, whether it be positive or negative, you can't say that because everybody's not a clone. Everybody has different personalities. Everybody has different experiences when it comes to how they grew up. And again, all this stems back from your base. And while I'm not going to try to take away from your lived experiences and the things that you've gained, other people have different lived experiences. Other people grew up in a different environment. So that all those choices they made in order to get to the point where they're at are different from the point you start at and where you're at in your lived experience. And I get you coming up here and saying all the things that people need to understand as far as on the negative side. There's a yin to a yang. Okay, where there's good, there's bad. Always in life. Where there's good, there's evil. Okay, so we get all that, but the point of this channel and the point of what Mosa does is always positive. To sit here and spend the last hour talking about on a negative end of what the worst case scenario is in a room where we already have talked about that, it's redundant, and it's at a point where you have to pick a choice of saying, yo, we need to move on from this.
Oh yeah, I was definitely going to say that. Darna, I definitely appreciate you coming on here and sharing your thoughts. We were definitely moving past this topic, bro, for sure.
Yep, that's fine.
If there's any last words you would like to say to the panel, please feel free.
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. The only thing I will say, I just would like to remind everyone on how it started was you don't have to speak the same language, and that's the reason why I was like, nah, that it just doesn't work that way. You got to speak, whether it's English or whatever the local language is, you got to at least, be able to communicate. Okay. I mean, you could be the best talker in English, but if you try to hook up with somebody speaking Spanish or Portuguese and they don't speak any English, it does you no good. That's all I was coming from. I don't know how things got misconstrued, but anyway, thank you for having me, and hope your channel continues to grow.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you being on the panel. Let's definitely move past that. Focus more on the soul and core of the conversation. So basically, me being younger generation, Ronin obviously being older generation, we are talking about me being in the Philippines, how to move and shake, right? If I move the same way I was moving in Medellin, going to the clubs where all the hoes is at, I'm going to run into some hoes. If I'm looking for a wife, I need to move to the outskirts where Ronin is at and go pick up one of them village girls, basically.
Now, look, I didn't say you had to come out to the province. What I said was you find a girl that has a job.
Yes.
I would say this in any country. Find a girl that has a job first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody has already got something they're applying themselves to do. If you're going to do that, if you're in a city at least, okay, it's not always so readily available in the province area, but if you're in a city, especially the Philippines, like I was saying, there's call centers here. There's all kind of business here because of the fact that Filipinos, English is one of their first languages as they go into life. It's taught. So it's a lot easier to deal with Filipino women because of the fact that they speak English. That's an advantage. The other advantage or disadvantage, as you want to look at, is the fact because Americans have been coming here since, we owned the place. We gave it back in the 1940s. We've been here since the 1800s. So when it comes to Americans and them understanding our worth and our value, they hold that in high regard too. So you do have women out there that have evil intent, and you have women that are good-natured Catholic women that were brought up and raised to be wives. And matter of fact, Filipinos have one of the highest values when it comes to loyalty when it comes to marriage. If that's what you're looking for, you want to look at
true?
You can look at the statistics. Filipino women are highly rated as far as good wives and loyal.
I would
again, if that is true that they're also gold diggers, that's a contradiction.
I would have to see. I think you probably
you can say like there's only 12% of black men in or 12% of black people in America, and there's so many few of us that are traveling as black men, but yet and still you got a couple Pookie and Ray Rays that give all black men a bad reputation. Then in turn, can you not say that about Filipino women? There are a few bad apples as far as when it comes to Filipino women that might give the overall look of Filipino women a bad look.
That's true. And there really is not that many black travelers or passport bros, but what I've noticed is that the black travelers that live abroad, especially in Southeast Asia, we're all running into each other because we're all in places where there's hoes. Like let's just be straight up honest. Like if you see one YouTuber with an Asian chick who is his wife or girlfriend, and then we dig up that she actually has a crazy past, you then start thinking all these women are this way. This is all black men can get, when the truth is, let's be honest, I don't see a lot of black dudes integrating themselves into the local community here and talking to
the province. I'm not sitting in Bacardi. I'm not sitting in BGC. I'm not sitting in Boracay. I'm not sitting in any popular place where there are vacationers.
And I'll give this one example. I was in Bangkok and there was a girl working at the Marriott Hotel. She was working behind the counter, but she wasn't working as a barwoman. She was like a general server, serving food, things like that, dressed up nice. And I had piqued her interest because I was sitting down working on my computer, and she was just gained some curiosity, like, where are you from? Now, when she learned that I was American, now, like her curiosity grew. Now we're having a whole conversation with her. And I realized in that moment, like, yo, I'm talking to
now, you know why it did, though. Let's analyze that. You know why it did. The first thing is, who is also out there eye spying being in a Black American? African. Yeah. So first, she sees you in a professional mode. You're working on a laptop, a computer, doing business. Mm-hmm. Secondly, now she's stepping in and saying, hey, wait a minute, your accent's a little different. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from America. Okay, now you're not African. You're not a scammer. See, she's eliminating possibilities to see what potential you have. Mm-hmm. So then is she analyzing you for a good thing or a bad thing? You see how that works?
Yep. Yeah. And I realized, I was like, if I would have kept this conversation going, trying to open up like an opportunity, I probably could have got a date with this young lady. And when I realized that there are ladies,
what stopped you from doing that?
Well, let's be honest. What would stop me from doing that is how easy would this be to convert versus me just going to where the hose is at. Being honest. And I'm saying that being honest. I know most men, Black men that come out here to Thailand for the first time, they're doing the same shit I'm doing. You're not taking time to get to know that girl working at the Marriott Hotel or wherever. You're going to the club to look for hoes. And then you go to the club to look for hoes, and then you make your entire assessment about this particular place of women, about the women you have been interacting with, which is hoes. I'm just being honest. That's the truth. So I know what I was doing. I was like, man, if I would have spent more of my time networking, meeting women through a good way, my whole outlook on it wouldn't be, oh, you got to keep paying for coochie. It's like, no, you don't got to keep paying for coochie. You're dealing with women that want to be paid for coochie. There's other women there that...
You know why? Because just like you just said, instead of you taking something and investing a little time to see where it would have gone, you'd rather go for the easy bag.
Yeah, that's true.
But had you, where could that have been? That could have been a one. You never know. Somewhere in one of those dimensions, you might have had said yes. You never know. You're gonna wind up being happy most.
And that was what I didn't want to do in Japan.
She had a job, bro. She had a job.
Yeah, I know. That's
looking for the handout. You went for the girl looking for the handout versus the one that was already getting a leg up.
All right, Ronin, listen, I'm already sitting here confessing my sins, bro. We don't got to go, you know what I'm saying? We don't got to overanalyze. What I'm basically saying is this. I made sure that when I went to Japan, I wasn't doing that same shit. That's why I say, I'm not dealing with no whores, no hoes. If there's hoes on camera, it's just because I was in the club. But I'm like, these are not the girls I'm pursuing. Like, I'm not pursuing these chicks. If I meet a Japanese girl, I want to meet her in a genuine setting. And I realized, like, okay, even though some of these girls might pique interest, it's up to you to break that barrier and talk to them. And for you to break that barrier and talk to them in Japan, you have to know the language. You got to know the language. In some other countries.
Or being introduced to somebody they're already familiar with and they already trust to be in her circle.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why I say it's much easier instead of you having to break the barrier of inventing a wheel. Get in touch with some of these people that have boots on the ground. They already have a circle of trust. They're going to evaluate you anyway. Believe me, those dudes are going to evaluate you, or those women, whoever you know that's a YouTuber or whatever, they're going to evaluate you because, first of all, if they took the time to build that circle of trust, they're not going to have some Rudy Poo dude go and blow it up for them.
Yeah.
So if you're not trustworthy and they're not introducing you to somebody that possibly could fit your mold, they don't trust you. They've already done the evaluation. So guess what? The person in their circle of trust already knows this. Mm-hmm. So if you are that guy and you are somebody that's trustworthy, that they trust enough to introduce you into their circle, that means you're somebody of value that the person in their circle should pay attention to. Get how that works?
Yeah, I think I'm definitely changing. Now that my intentions are a little different, I feel like I've already had enough fun. I think I want to slowly kind of start picking and choosing who I'm going to invest time and see where it goes and see the mentality. But I do think for a lot of younger dudes that travel like myself, the easiest thing to do is where's the nightlife? Where's the clubs? Where, especially when you're on vacation, and you could attest to this and probably have something to say. If you're on vacation, I do think it's going to be hard for you to build these relationships because, like I said, Japan was a place I should have pre-gamed. I should have pre-gamed with social circles.
That's it right there, pre-game. Yeah.
Yeah, and I went there thinking everything's just going to open up for me because I'm a foreigner. I'm going to get there. Oh, my God, you're American. And that was not I mean, the dudes were doing that shit, but the girls weren't.
I'm going to tell you, like I told Donnell, read the room. That is not a third world country. That's a first world country.
Yeah.
So your money and your status as far as being American is unimpressive to them. So you even went in with the wrong strategy, thinking they're like, oh, Colombia and some of these other ones that might be a second or third world. You went into a first world country with that mentality, oh, I'm American, and they're just going to love me for showing up. They got money. They got means. They have jobs. Matter of fact, some of the most Asian people are some of the hardest working people in the world. Koreans work 14, 20 hours a day. Sometimes they sleep in their jobs. Japanese, same thing. So it's not about them not having money. It's time, really. Now they're going to value their time more. So if they're valuing their time more, whose bullshit do you think they don't want to put up with?
A fucking dude that's there just for a fun time, for sure. Definitely not. Definitely not.
Exactly.
Definitely not. But I will spin the block on Japan because I like the challenge. I want to be able to go in there, speak fluent Japanese, penetrate their society, be able to elevate in their society, because I know if I can do that as a foreigner, especially a foreign black man, I know there's literally nothing I can't do after that. That's how I genuinely feel. Like, all right, we could do.
Yeah, the brother that's in Colombia right now was married to a Japanese guy. T-Mac. I don't know if you've seen him in other panels and other things. He lives in Colombia, but was married several years to a Japanese woman. Even though they're divorced, they're still cordial to this day.
I think I might have found him the last time me and you dual streamed. Some dude was telling me he was married to a Japanese woman. I can't really remember why he said why they split though. Like what was the reason why they split?
Oh, I didn't go into detail, and I'm not going to share that unless he's willing to share it. But whatever it is, like I said, it's levels to this dating thing. There's levels to everything in life. Here's the thing. I hate to say it. Newer generations have things where they feel like they're entitled to certain things without working for them. And unfortunately, the newer generations think you're entitled to money, you're entitled to a life that's successful, you're entitled to a good relationship without having to work for it or work through it. And the convenience factor is I can throw it away if I have a whiff of impropriety or something like that. That's true. Not a relationship is work. And if you don't find someone with the commonality of saying, I want to put in the work and the time, then you're not going to get the same reciprocal return on investment that is. And return on investment doesn't mean if I give up so much money, she needs to bring in so much money. It's thing for thing. If her ability to treat me a certain way gives me the ability to earn more money, did that not help me? Yeah. If I bring something home and she amplifies it, if you get into religion and things like that, it's like you bring a piece of meat home, she's supposed to make a meal. You give her a house, she makes it a home. You get what I'm saying? She's supposed to make you profit. She needs to be an asset, not a liability.
Hold on. Somebody said something. He said, anybody can get chose in Colombia, fam. I don't even know why he's bragging about it. First of all, I'm not bragging about it. What I was talking about was how ready some of the women are to engage with you when you get there, right? And they'll do it just off the passport factor. They feel like, oh, if you can afford to be here, you have money. And they do this pretty much all over the country. Like some of them, depending on their class, they will not interact with you because they assume because you're a foreigner in their country, you're only looking for one thing and you're not there for anything else. But most of them will at least entertain you. They might not sleep with you. They might not even go on a date with you, but they will at least entertain you because you are.
And you know why they're entertaining you? Because they want to practice their English.
That too.
Think about that.
That too, like being an American in some of these places, it means something. But when I went to Japan, it didn't mean a damn thing. Now, it might mean something to some of them, but they're not going to openly show it. They're not going to change their course of expression because that's what you are. But in other countries, they're very interested. Oh my God, you're American, you're American. So I'm expecting that when I got to Japan, I'm like, I'm not going to pregame. I'm just going to land there. Everything's going to open up. People are going to show me what it is. And then you realize, no, some of these cultures pride themselves much more than they care about your blue passport. So if you want to get into what they got going on, you have to really acclimate to their language, their way of life, their social circles, their verification systems. And this is where it's like, all right, let's slow down a little bit. Everybody's talking about travel as if it's just something that you just fucking do. It's like, every new country you go to, you got to really take the time to, all right, how do things work here? How are things here? And what I was saying earlier was too much in travel conversation. We kind of just put a bunch of countries in one sentence together. And I'm like, yo, bro, this place might be really different. So usually the two countries I see that always come hand in hand is Thailand and the Philippines. I'm like, I'm pretty certain I'm going to spend time here in the Philippines and learn this country and realize that the people are completely different. Like there might be some similarities, but it's a totally different environment. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm expecting. I'm like, even when you go city to city in Thailand, like the cities are different. Like Pattaya is way different from Bangkok. Bangkok and Pattaya is way different than Phuket. Like they're completely different cities, but we mention them in the same conversation. Like you about to just go to version 2 of this. Like no, it's different. It's totally different.
And this is what I like to say a lot. And a lot of people say, "Oh, yo, we need to escape the Matrix." No, bro, you're not escaping shit. All you're doing is jumping from one server to another server with different rules.
That's very true.
And if you don't understand the rules of that server, you're still going to get burned. Okay? You're jumping from one server to another. You're not going to escape shit. You're just jumping from a different rule set.
I definitely agree.
There are upgrades on that server, like feminism and other things, that's going to throw a monkey wrench in your plans. So if you know what mainframe you're jumping to, you might want to understand what the subset of rules are on that mainframe, because you're not escaping shit. You're going in with your eyes closed because you haven't researched a damn thing. And if you're doing this for vacation, that's fine. Just do it for vacation. Go ahead and go to a brothel somewhere safe and, sow your wild oats. But if you're getting serious, then you really need to invest the time. Like you said, pregame. Understand what the rules are. Understand what the mentality of the people are. Like I was telling Darnell, and he knows, he's a military guy. We're given briefings before we step off the fucking boat, plane, whatever, on that culture, how to read certain things about that culture, things to do, not to do. Like, in Muslim cultures in certain areas, they use their left hand to wipe their ass. Okay? If they're not shaking your hand with their right hand, it's an insult for them to offer you their left. It's the hand that's defiled because they wipe their ass with it. There's traditions and sub-traditions that if you don't understand the culture, you're doing it wrong. You're left-handed, so you're naturally going to reach your left hand out. They'll take that as an insult, almost ready to fucking whip your ass or kick you out of the country, depending on who you meet and where. So there's things you got to understand. And if you don't start by doing the research, like I did a shit ton of research about the Philippines. Buffalo Soldiers are over here helping to fight the Spanish-American War. We actually helped revolutionize the Philippines against the American government Once we won the Spanish-American War, and America brought the Philippines from Spain. I've done my research. The Eta people are some of the most aboriginal people here, like the Australians have their aboriginals. The Eta people actually have more genetics towards the original man coming from Africa than any other race. And they're dark skinned with curly hair. You see my girl, she has curly hair, but she's Spanish and Iligano? No, she's going to tell me something. Visayan. Her dad's Visayan. And they're darker skinned people, so they worked in the fields more. So then the racism or colorism started when you worked on the fields longer than most people, like in Black culture. They have that here too. They have colorism. That's why they dye their skin, because of the Spanish colonizers. And in most Spanish countries, the lighter you are, you're on TV, you have more exposure, you're more popular, you have more ability to do certain things. Same thing in certain cultures here. Because you got to look at the root cause. Who's the colonizer of that country? What rules and subset of rules did they set and establish in those mentalities that they have to break those bondage or those chains in order to become who they were at this point in time?
Yeah. But even with that, because I know some people do try to use that to say why they wouldn't venture out to certain countries, I still... I feel like I'm gonna die on this hill.
Like I said, do your due diligence, do your research, understand what you're dealing with and what you're walking into. And if you understand those things, then you'll have a lot easier time than going in blind. Obviously, guys that are running channels that are just travel channels specifically for a weekend warrior type of mentality, and that's fine. They can do whatever they're doing. You go to an expats channel, he's going to give you a different perspective.
Yeah.
Things to look out for, things to anticipate, things to plan for when you get here that you might not have thought you needed, you actually do need.
Expat, by the way, guys watching, expat, I'm gonna die on this hill, and I will say that Black men can win and do win in every country on earth. I have yet to be in any country where it's like, oh man, if I was white, I would be doing way better. Like I haven't. I feel like there's a lot of things you got to self-check about yourself first before you start blaming the color of your skin as to why you're not winning somewhere. And that's just, you know.
And I said this on another panel earlier, and I think it was on mine a couple of days ago. There's a root cause of this and all this, like I was saying about guys getting in the gym, guys working on their talents, whether they play basketball or they're musicians, and all these things that brothers do in order to get what? Access to money and women. That starts when you were a child. And sometimes people have to do the work on the mentality and the traumas they experience from their childhood to understand why they're doing things when they're grown up. Okay? If you haven't done the work to understand who you are and why you do certain things, you're doomed to continue to repeat those things. That's the very definition of insanity. You don't understand why you're doing them. You need to understand that first.
Mm-hmm.
And then move on from there once you start fixing those things.
Yeah. I just want to play the trailer one more time for those of you guys that are watching. I appreciate y'all for staying on the stream. We're 3 hours and 30 minutes in. We're on the Asia tour. Take a look if you haven't seen it already. It's definitely a goodie. Told you I would never leave Colombia. They said I would be stuck only going to the passport bro destinations. Can you believe these guys? We've traversed South America. We've traversed Europe. And now we're in Asia. I'm here to make it happen. I'm here to really set history and show you guys that I'm gonna take this farther than anybody ever has. We made it. We're in Japan. I'm showing you the baddest of the baddest across the globe. Different cultures, different food, wonderful nightlife. Who can compete with me? You wanna go head to head with me? The big homie. I can't be stopped.
I can't be beat. This is my house. This is my shit. I'm here to set the record straight. We finally made it. We've won.
Yo, that's motivating as hell. We won. The only thing I can say to that, and I just put it in the chat, and I say this all the time. There's only one race. It's the human race. Other than that, you're only separated by genetic identity, which is called ethnicity. Okay. My first reason why I say that is in the military, when my face was shaven, young guy, no hair, no beard, no nothing, I was in a dental chair. And the dentist used to say, I can usually tell what race anybody is that sits in my chair. For some reason, I can't tell what you are. What are you? I'm a fucking human first. Two, what if any business that is of yours? And then I said, pull my teeth and shut the fuck up. And I was starting my boot camp. And I was at 19 years old. You know, stop with the things that distract you. Make yourself happy. Ethnicity is just one part of the global thing. We're all humans. Find a place that makes you happy. Get in there, understand what's going on, and have a great life. Don't make it so fucking difficult.
That's why I was saying to him, I was like, yo, when I'm overseas, I'm not thinking about how much more the white dude is winning. I'm like, I'm generally enjoying myself so much. For me to stop and think to myself, oh man, she probably for, you know,
Got a delivery?
You know what I mean? Like, did I just was I just standing there and a white dude just came and took my girl from me? And I'm like, oh shit, every time I have a girl, a white
I'll be right back. I got a delivery.
Yeah, bro, you're good, bro. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, I don't know. I hate seeing these because, like I said, it's one thing for me. I've been traveling nonstop for the last year and a half. Some of you guys don't see that as being shit, but I've been actually living overseas, right? And I'm like, bro, I know there's other people that have lived overseas, those of you guys in the military, ex-military. I'm not taking anything away from your kinds of experiences. But, you know, I don't really think y'all are the ones that's spreading these narratives. It's like I'm always seeing this narrative that almost wants to take away any hope from the black man for living overseas. Because you're like, man, what's the point? You're not preferred in these countries anyway. And I'm like, bro, I'm not experiencing what you're experiencing. Okay? If I can't attract a woman, I think to myself first, there's something about me she's not attracted to. Secondly, who cares? I'm going to find a girl that is attracted to me. And what I've realized about being in these countries when you're dealing with a woman that like black men is when a woman likes you as a black man, she really like you. She really fuck with you. She really, really is into you, right? Because you're, you know, if this is true, it's even more of it's like, yeah, you're not the safe option. You're not what everyone's going to approve of. So she definitely likes you. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's almost as if women form genuine attraction and desire for white men the way you guys talk, and they just cannot form it for black men. And I'm like, we need to realize how bad this Willie Lynch theory, how deep that shit really goes, where it even goes into when like international global travel, you're still seeing yourself as being less than. It's like, bro, I don't even think about that shit. Now, when it comes to the Africans, I will say in Asia, you do realize that the Africans have a bad reputation in a lot of places. But I would tell you it has nothing to do with them being black. It's more so poverty and what they do out of desperation because they're impoverished. You see what I'm saying? Like, once they see that I'm American, I might even get better treatment than a white Russian dude. Like it's like it. People are going to value you based on where you are, how you present yourself. What is your value on a numerical number in their head? It's not necessarily black, white. Yeah, black does better. White. It's like, bro, that's I don't know. I just don't. I don't really go through that. I don't really have that experience. Since Europe is my next destination, guys, make sure you guys hit the like button, man. Bless the Cash App. Support the Asia tour. I appreciate all you guys that's in here sending in super chats. If I did not get to your super chat, it's my apologies. I'll definitely try to make sure I get to all y'all super chats. Those of you guys that sending them in. And those of you guys that are sending cash apps, please be sure to write anything you want me to address on stream. We'll stream for a little bit longer. And talk to the chat. Like I said, I did drop the link for anybody that wants to come on here and talk. We are talking about Filipinas, finding me a bad Filipina. Yeah, every time I've thought about the Philippines, it's always been like, this is probably going to be the place I'm going to find my wife. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I don't want to repeat the same thing I do in like Colombia, Thailand. We're only really chasing hoes. We're chasing, women of the night. Got to find something that's more soul filling, something that makes me want to come back here, But then I'll also say this too, right? If you're moving around as a traveler, how are you ever actually going to form anything solid with a woman if you're always moving around? Hit the gym, work hard, stack your money, everything will fall into place. Amen. Amen. That's not fully true. No one is thinking about a white man, but when you approach some women overseas, I can even think of a time in the Philippines, they will tell you that they prefer white men. I've never in my life have ever got rejected by a girl and she told me she prefers white men. I think the only time I would hear a woman tell me she really is into white men is when I asked her. And even then I realized, why am I asking this woman the kind of men she prefers? First of all, let's get this straight. Why do you care about the kind of men your woman prefers? Does she do what she needs to do for you? Does she respect you? Does she stay wet and tight for you? That's what matters. Because I'm going to tell you something about women. Women don't know what the fuck they want. She could tell you she only dates white dudes and she will be in your bed, cuddled up. She'll be in the kitchen in a thong, cooking you breakfast every day, and you're dark as midnight. But she prefers white men. I've heard women say shit like that all the time. Oh, I prefer this kind of man. But she's chasing some fucking Mexican nigga. Women don't know what they want. So you can't even go based off what these women say to you. It's her actions. The only way you know what this woman prefers is if you're watching every single type of man she's chosen and what she does for those men when she's with them. And the truth of the matter is, you don't know. So you're internalizing something you shouldn't have to. Even if she told you out of her own mouth that she only dates white men, you don't know that to be true. You know what I'm saying? It says it stops nothing. You keep it pushing. Yeah, I mean, but and I'm seeing your next answer. Like, I would never ask that question. That's asinine. Some women will tell you off rip. I've never had a woman say that. I don't. The chat, tell me if I'm wrong. Have you ever had a woman tell you that she prefers white men, or she prefers something that isn't you? Whether it was she's rejecting you or just in conversation. Have you ever had a woman say that? I've never seen or heard a woman say anything like that. I've never, unless I asked the question, right? And I've definitely asked the question before. Hey, do you know like do you like certain types of men? Blah 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 blah. You know, just to kick conversation. You know, just to say what a chick is, just just to see what a chick will say, but never on some like, bro, women don't give a. You can't. You can't even believe her if she were to tell you that she prefers a certain type of man. Women don't know what they want until it's in front of their face.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I would never look at a chick telling me, "Oh, I like prefer white men," and then I'm gonna like, "Oh shit." Well, like, man, I've been with women that have probably only dated everything but me in their life, and then when they got with me, it was like game changer. Like, holy shit, I didn't even know I like black dudes, but I know I like this black dude. So it's like, it's all gonna come down to who you are at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like when women tell me that they prefer black men and they're not black. Because to me, it just seems like every black nigga that come her way, she gonna let put through the mattress anyway. So I don't even like chicks that say shit like that to me. Don't tell me that you prefer black men. I'm not even trying to hear that shit. Go to Hong Kong for a month. I think that'll be a dope trip.
Oh yeah, that would be a dope trip. I love Hong Kong.
That'll be a dope trip. How is Hong Kong though?
It's nice. Well, when I went, it was a long, long time ago. But as far as I know, it's still super nice. It obviously the British had owned it for a while. He just honked again, babe. Can you grab it? All right. But yeah, the British had owned it up until the 80s. So, it just got turned back over to China, mainland China. And then they're still, even with the individual two governments, they still try to maintain some relevance of independence from mainland China, even though they're impose certain laws based on communism to them. It was really nice. Really nice. Modern city. And it's my first experience at bartering. And a lot of Americans don't understand this mentality is the sticker price in a lot of other countries is an asking price. It's not a locked in price. You can barter. You can actually get a discount based off of that. And that's the first place I actually experienced. They might have had a price on an item and I was able to barter that down, and I got it for a cheaper price. But sometimes it's like insulting not to haggle, on the price. So that's sometimes the fun of buying certain things is haggling on price. Yo, it's my boy. What's going on? Hey, that's another person you could have gotten in contact while you were in Thailand with, right there. And that brother could have put you on. You hear me? He's a Marine as well.
Obstacle opportunities. Give me 1 second. Let me just address this one point this dude has. He says, let me get this straight. A female tells you she prefers a different kind of man and you will keep shooting your shot. Just like Tyree said. If she really preferred this other man, me and her would not even be having this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would we even be having this conversation for her to tell me she prefers white men? Like, I've never went up to a girl, try to talk to her, and she goes, even if she did say that, it would probably be something she's only saying to me. Like, I don't believe the shit woman that comes out of women's mouth. You know what I mean? Like, a girl will be telling you, yes, I only prefer white men, as she's about to fucking deep throat you like 2 seconds later. Like, I don't listen to this bullshit, bro. You feel me? So, like I said, I don't live my life thinking to myself, oh my God, this white guy must have it way better than me. I'm just enjoying what I personally enjoy. Shout out to you, my guy. What's up, man? Talk to the chat.
Man, you were just speaking facts. I mean, there's nothing else you can say. I mean, that was just a home run in itself. But I think, you got to build up that type of character. You got to work on yourself because at the end of the day, you were speaking nothing but facts. I lived overseas for 20 years. And there really hasn't been any women of any culture that rejected me because I'm just a high quality and high value and an actual ambitious man. Fathers of different cultures will respect that. Shoot, how many times have I had fathers from different cultures say, I would love for you to marry my daughter or be with my daughter. You're better than the local men. So at the end of the day, it's about performing, period. You walk around with that chip on your shoulder. Oh, you don't like me because I'm black. Do you like
Yep.
black guys? I mean, that's just low frequency and low energy, period. You could be a white guy and say that to a white girl who likes white guys, and she still wouldn't want to rock with you. So
Right.
at the end of the day, this is about doing the work and being confident and competent. And then women will just rock with you because when the Nazi come in, the French, the German girls rolled with them because they were winners at the time. So women just roll with winners, period. And so if you just know that, you be that, and you do that, it's a home run every day. You could command.
Spoken like another Marine.
Shout out to you, my guy. Facts. Big fucking facts.
Marines know, man, we don't have not a shred of doubt when it comes to that shit, bro. That's not even a problem.
Facts.
Shout out to my guy Eric, comes up with the $10 with the flex arm. I appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not living my life limiting what I could do in a certain country or place or any atmosphere based on the fact that maybe another guy with different skin color is going to perform better than me. And like I said, I've gone to countries. I've been in the same room with white dudes. We're looking at the same girls, and I have never in my life seen a girl curve me to go talk to a white. I've just never seen it. Like, I have never seen it happen. Maybe this has happened to some of you guys in life. Even I can't remember this dude's name. When I was coming on here being super pessimistic, he's like,
we
"Yeah,
all know him now.
oh yeah, you know what I mean." Like, I don't know him, so he's like, "Yeah, I was in like Amsterdam, and she just like didn't want to talk to me," and I'm like, "Yo, bro." There's probably various reasons why she didn't want to talk to you, and probably none of them had to do with you being black, like at all. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not gonna say being black doesn't hurt people in certain ways, but I think it's all a mentality thing. And one thing I realized about just even people that want to be racist, the only people that focus on skin color is because they don't really have any other metrics to compare things to. Like, that's why you'll know that the most racist people are poor white people, right? Because they don't own shit. So they can't look at you like, oh, I have more wealth than you. I put my kids in better schools than you. Really, the only thing they have over you is the fact that their skin is white. So that's what they have to uphold. But when you start going up in like classes, you start realizing like, no, people really respect your ability to provide, create. You know what I'm saying? Like, take care of yourself, take care of others. So if you have a lot of value, no one's going to look at a fucking poor white guy with bad hygiene, bad habits, and then say to themselves, I'd rather you be with my daughter than this well put together, intelligent, financially savvy black dude. Like nobody's doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, the floor is open for y'all, man.
I wasn't going to stop a brother speaking vibranium. Like, I rarely hear brothers talking like this at all. So shout outs to you for just creating your life and being that. I don't think it's just talk. I know it's walk. It was funny because I've spent massive amounts of time overseas. I lived in Brazil, one of the most quote-unquote places with racism or whatever. And I'm sitting there and we're putting on white boys with girls. They didn't have dates to the Marine Corps ball. They didn't talk to women. They didn't have charisma. They didn't have social, intelligence. They didn't have good relationships and connections. Social proof is crazy what it can do for you. Mm-hmm. So it's like, guys, you just be moving mad. I can't even talk to y'all experiences. But what I can say is if you do this work, then you can have different types of experiences. But as you said, that's just so simple, right? A father saying, nah, I don't want you to be with this well put together man with assets and resources and is a great protector and aligned with God. I would rather you be with this slump buster, busted and disgusted fake Moses, Jesus guy with the flip-flops backpacking through Europe without any security and its accommodation versus you being with this well put together Black American too. Put some respect on your Americanness too. because it holds massive amounts of
You
weight
need
and
to
power.
share with
over
them
girls.
your story, their obstacles about your little Japanese arrangement that you turned down, just not really thinking about it. But I was going to share with them before you tell that story is in the Marine Corps and the Navy. When we pull up to Australia, we're there for a couple weeks, right? And on that, when you hit the port, either you're going to be on the Perth side or you're going to be on the Sydney side. Well, they have what they call adopt the Marine, adopt the sailor. Okay. So when you pull in that port, you already picked or you chose that you want to be one of those people. And it's supposed to be a little friendly type of, hey, get to know an American. But the alternative really is Australian dads. And these are wealthy individuals. They're going to take you to a ranch. They're going to take you to something. Okay. And let you experience the Australian way. But really what it is they have eligible daughters they want you to marry. Okay. 95% of those dudes are offered an opportunity to marry the owner or the man of the house's daughter because of the fact that they don't like Australian men. They're too gruff, too abrasive, and too abusive towards Australian women that they would prefer to have an American man. And it's not a colorism thing because it's American male, black, white. I mean, and Australians are fine. I've seen so many fine ass Australian women. And the thing is, you hear their voice and it has that melody to it, that little accent. Guess what? Just like in England, our accent is a turn on to Australian women. So right off the bat, just you talking is tickling them. Too many brothers walked away with Australian women as wives. Okay. Americans, period. Because we have that disposition that we're a little more caring and a lot more loving than their own men. But obstacles, you need to share that opportunity that you had with your Japanese fiance at one point and the daddy's offer.
Yeah, until I fumbled the rock. But it took, I didn't know back then.
I didn't
So
say it.
no,
You
it
said
is
it.
what it is.
I ain't say it.
I
You
had to
said
say
it.
the
But go
truth.
ahead, fill it in.
But yeah, I mean, I was dating a Japanese girl. I was young, ambitious, was doing great in my squadron as a Marine. I had certain privileges that most Marines didn't have at that time. And so at the time, I was dating this amazing Japanese girl, and her father was the owner of the majority of banks in Okinawa, not Japan all over, but in Okinawa, the island we were at. And she was a great girl. We had a great relationship. And I remember, when I got to meet her family, we were like pretty serious. We were in a long-term relationship. And he was like, hey, look, if you're going to marry my daughter, I know it's hard for you Marines out here. You're a very competent individual. He was able to talk to like my commander and understand what type of person I was. And he was like, hey, I want you to stay here and build a family also. So, upon the day you marry my daughter, he was going to give me 60 units in an apartment complex so that I could have control over it, so I could just feed the family, right? And so I think men are not familiar with that. Also, when it comes from different classes, they're going to provide something like an asset for you to thrive as a family moving forward. Of course, his daughter didn't run it because she wasn't of that mind and that, drive. But at that time, I was like, man, I don't want that. I'm my own man. I'm going to figure it out by myself. I don't need no handouts. But I could have took it and did great with it. But at the end of the day, I built my own empire. But I wasn't just familiar with that type of construct, right? Like, I didn't come from that, so I wasn't aware of it. But that's the type of high quality relationships and, partners you could find yourself when you're overseas looking in the right places, and then also being the right man. This is not you just hop off the boat and say, I'm black and I'm an American. This is where you actually have to compete and be the best of the best. But you're in your head defeating yourself because you think some guy, because his skin is more fair than you, has a better shot at life. As the big homie just said, when you move up in class, that becomes irrelevant. I never moved up class with Jewish people or white people or Hispanic or Asians, and they said, hey, you're black. You can't be at this 5-star hotel. They actually were open, eyes wide open, like, how did you win? Show me something. Tell me something. Your story's so amazing. So it's only been support, not hate. Low-level white men, low-level Asians, dirty Mac, and throw dirt and all that nonsense because they don't have much. They're powerless. And so that's the only power they have, is to shame.
Facts. Facts. And that was a crazy opportunity thrown your way. My God, I wish I had an opportunity to marry a Japanese woman. I'm about to inherit
When I heard
property off of
story,
that.
I was like, obstacles, brother, what you doing? Why? And the reason I say that is that's not the only story I heard of coming out of Japan. I knew a chief pettyman in communications on a ship that I was stationed in during the Gulf War. He told me a similar story, but he bid on the opportunity. Okay, so this, and I hate to say that Navy guy picked up the opportunity and we dropped the rock, but at the same time, this Navy guy, the chief petty officer, he married the daughter to Mitsubishi.
Wow.
And he's set for life, even though he's in the Navy, he's doing his 20 years. He was straight. The opportunity that was given to him when he married his daughter, the president of Mitsubishi's daughter, and he had no problem with the fact that, and this is a dark-skinned brother. Okay. So it wasn't my shade and it was okay and more accepted. Nah. It's a brother. And no problems. That's why I dispel the rumor that it's about our shade and our color. It's exactly what obstacles and other people say. It's a classism and a mindset thing. You can either let your mind hinder you from achieving certain things or beating your chest like Obstacle said he did to turn something down. Good things happen to good people, but you got to be in the mindset. If you're always in the mindset somebody's trying to get over on you, you're never going to be receptive to somebody actually offering you an opportunity. It's okay for you to say, hey, what's the catch? But once he says it's not one, and you really see that it's not, accept it. Because I can guarantee you any other race would have. How do you think people could have come up to them? So you ever heard of a good old boy network? Half of the dudes that get promoted in certain corporations ain't smarter than the person that's already working there. They just happen to know the fucking owner or was referred to them by a friend of the owner. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's us that have that pride and mindset to say, no, we can't take a handout. Why? We've been programmed not to do it.
I was just
You
saying
gotta
that.
open your mind to saying it's okay to think positively and know the sky is not going to fall if you do.
I think homeboy Darnell, whatever, he's definitely a prime example of how we suffer from the Willie Lynch theory. He just doesn't feel like as a black man you can just come overseas and it's like, oh, and it's, for me, maybe it's like my upbringing. I was never raised on some like, yo, you're going to encounter all these obstacles and things are going to be harder for you because you're black. It was always on some, if things don't work the way that you want them to work, it's something you're doing. You might need to recalibrate a couple times. Now, if I know that if I'm basically operating at maximum efficiency and things still are not going my way, maybe it's the timing, or at this point, really, it's just something that's out of my control. Like, okay, this is not this. It's not me. It's just out of my personal control. I'm not gonna default to it's because I'm black. Like I just don't naturally do that. You know what I mean?
And you're a child of an immigrant, so your family came over here having to put it in.
Yeah, and I think I want to highlight that part because that's very interesting. See, I was raised on a healthy diet of that. I can't do that because I'm black. I'm lower, I was raised in that. The only difference is I had to decide to keep it or reject it. And I had to drop all that toxic mindset that I had at one point and say, yo, that's a lie. So once I started performing in the Marine Corps, I saw like, dang, it don't matter that he's a white boy. I'm in charge. Like I got the highest score. I was the best disciplined. So I'm like, dang, I could beat these dudes. And then I'm outperforming. And then I'm like, but I still had people who loved me and who was my family telling me like, nah, you can't, you black and this. And then I'm like, nah, this ain't real. So you got to detox. I think maybe, he was raised on a healthy diet of that toxic culture and those messages. So that's why I say you reject it. Because at the end of the day, those people got nothing on you. It's 2025, bro. Like, They can have all the lineage they want. They can have all the good stories that make them feel good, but I'm beating you in real life in 2025. The top 1%. Come at me. And so at the end of the day, once you get that type of energy, there's no stopping you. Like I said, it's not because you're black, it's because you stay powerless. Black people was powerful before in history, and their skin was still black. So at the end of the day, it's not a black thing, it's a powerless thing. I say the same. If you come to Thailand, white boys used to have it. Guess who has it now? The Chinese. And guess what? 50 years ago, they were looked at poor people like roaches and rats. People don't look like that here in Thailand. The Chinese come, they say, oh, you want to invest? You have money, come spend, come good. So again, once you get that power position and you perform, people will show respect regardless. History don't even matter. They'll rewrite the books for you in your favor. So go out there and compete, bruv, and win.
Absolutely.
Well said. Well fucking said. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure having you on. Obstacles, I definitely want to tap in with you, bro. I definitely would like to have you on stream more. Ronin always coming in with the super gems. I'm going to share both of the channels.
Let me give you your flowers, man. You're a young man. You're up and coming. Like I said, we aging out. We're OGs in the game and all this. And sometimes it sounds like, oh, well, y'all just hating on us. Y'all doing this. Y'all doing. Okay, fuck it. Think we're doing that. Let me go ahead and support somebody I know is coming up the right way, saying the right things to the younger crew that they're going to listen to. So that's why I always come back in here and support you. You know how I met you. You know, that's no factor. That doesn't affect what my opinions of you are, and they're all good, bro. Like I said, just keep going in the direction you're going. You're going to have nothing but success.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Obstacles, if you have any last words, you want to promote your channel, please feel free to do so.
Oh, no. I'm not going to promote no channel. I'm not on so much these days. But what I would say is I'm going to promote your channel. Like, yeah, we might be old dogs. We might be phased out. But that's cool. I'm going to enjoy the beach. But I'm going to sit on the beach happy that a brother like you took in charge. You feel me? Like, it's providing the message that I've been saying for so long. And we need people like that in the space to carry on and talk their smack. Like, I don't see enough black men talking their truth and standing on business, not just sitting in the house playing video games and not doing nothing. I mean, you got to go out here and do something, but go out here and promote our message, man. Shout outs to brothers like you. I Show Speed, changing the world in the image of how people see us in a certain light. So keep pushing forward, man. You got nothing to support, and tap in. I send you my channel on the back end. You can contact me there, and we can chop up and I'll roll up on the show. But hey, man, keep doing what you're doing, because I ain't hear no lies on nothing you said.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for being all here with me, man. I'm going to drop you guys down. We're going to close out. And definitely, yeah, please share. Okay, yeah, YouTube, I'm going to share y'all links right now. Guys, you guys have put me on to some shit. So we got to definitely explore the Philippines, man. I'm definitely going to really just try to just change the way this time how I'm going to be operating, moving around Asia. I think Thailand was super dope. I just shared Obstacles YouTube channel. Make sure you guys tap in with them, and I'll definitely send you an email too, bro. I got you in the queue right now, so I'll send you an email. Make sure you guys support the Asia tour. Like I said, you guys thought I was going to stay in Colombia, okay? We're not staying in Colombia. We're in our third country in Asia. All right, make sure you guys go sub up to both of their channels, Ronin Travelers especially. Shout out to him for holding the stream down, coming in with hella knowledge, hella game. Yo, Ronin, man, I think you got a fucking talent for speaking. I would say even more than me. Like, it's pretty impressive when you talk, bro. It really is pretty damn impressive. I know we don't really podcast, bro, like that in this space, but I do think I would definitely like to hear your commentary on a couple topics outside of travel. But for those of you guys that are still in here, make sure that you guys stay tuned for the Homies app that we're launching. Like I said, it's going to be a rival social media platform. It is a platform that I am building from scratch. In case you guys don't know, I am a technologist at the end of the day. So make sure that you guys tap in, support. You guys could donate at thehomieshub.com. You guys, your donations go towards building out the platform, building out the ecosystem. We have live stream platform. We have an explore page with trending moments. We have a music mode that's also coming. All of my music, all of the things that I like to create will be all accessible in one application. You guys can also come on here and upload your own media as well. And we have something dope that I actually want to talk about before I even end this stream off. I am putting together an AI knowledge base on the Homies Hub app. Now, what is that? Basically, everyone can contribute their knowledge from their travels, what they've been able to achieve and do overseas. And this AI will basically be trained on that data. So now when you guys come in the chat and you ask stupid questions like, how much is the cost of pussy, which I'm not going to answer on stream, but the AI will definitely give you a live breakdown and update. There is nobody else doing this in the space. So like I told you guys before, and I'm going to keep saying it until we're finally live, by May 2026, I will have the whole travel space flipped upside down on its head. And this is how. So definitely support. You guys can support via Cash App, $Homies Hub, or you can go to thehomieshub.com and go to donate. As I launch this app, this is a safe space for men. And I want us men to be able to have our own space that isn't dominated by low quality content that is used to promote all the other shit you don't need to see. Travel is about freedom, empowering yourself. And that's basically what I want to get done on this application. So I came to Asia to really lock in, man. And I was able to lock in. I was able to finish the initial design of the app in Japan. So shout out to me being out there in Japan. We're going to hit up the Philippines. We're going to explore. You guys can support the Asia tour, like I said before. Tell me places you want me to go, things I should check out. You got some bad, sexy, beautiful women you want me to speak to. You can also send them my way as well. I'm open to all of that. And make sure you guys tap in with the guests that were definitely on the panel. Make sure you guys go follow Ronin Travelers. Definitely got a lot to say. A lot of good conversations and a lot of good topics. Besides that, hit the like button if you haven't already. Join the Discord. I have the Japan summaries and videos coming soon so you guys can see how it was in Japan. I would say Japan was a win. No matter, if I could have done things better, Japan overall was a huge win. Got a lot of content, and I'm hoping to do the same thing in the Philippines. Besides that, holla at me. Make sure you guys follow me at Mosa, MWOSA with the _. You guys can follow me on Mosa on Instagram. Join the travel channel. That's where I keep people up to date on my day-to-day stuff. Join the Discord if you want to talk to me daily. It's been your boy. Thanks everybody for watching. Peace and enjoy your day. Told you I would never leave Colombia. They said I would be stuck only going to the passport bro destinations. Can you believe these guys? We've traversed South America. We've traversed Europe. And now we're in Asia. I'm here to make it happen. I'm here to really set history and show you guys that I'm going to take this farther than anybody ever has. We made it. We're in Japan. I'm showing you the baddest of the baddest across the globe. Different cultures, different food, wonderful nightlife. Who can compete with me? You want to go head to head with me? The big homie? I can't be stopped. I can't be beat. This is my house. This is my shit. I'm here to set the record straight. We finally made it. We've won.
Yeah. She know me as king, but today I told her she'll see me as son of a god. Bow down, it'll give me your eyes. I come before you, but not as a mirage. To be the answer to all of your prayers. Get it now instead of waiting on later. Need a man that isn't stricken by greed. I'm only stricken when you get on your knees. Girl, don't pray for me, you can pray to me. It's blasphemous.